Roll call in the chat. What's up, Tasha? Tara, Tara, Jaywalk, Purple, Eddie, what's good, what's good? Welcome in, guys, welcome in. Care Bears reporting for duty. Light worker meeting. What's up, Mimi? Hey, you guys make my day, honestly. Love talking to you guys. More than you know. What's up, Queen? Bhavana, appreciate you. Thank you. Sage in the house. TikTok roll call. What's up, Mimi? Victoria? Yasmin, what is good? Today's topic is monitoring spirits. People in TikTok side, keep tapping those screens. Once we hit 25K likes, we will get started. Is that Archangel Michael in the back? I think so. I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't know, but a lot of people ask me that, so I'm pretty sure it is. But don't quote me on that. We'll appreciate it. What is my religious status? I'm not religious. Kindness ripples, exactly. You're funny because you're on the money. Yeah, I have the same type of perception when I watch people that they're like very real. Like I be laughing at the things they be saying because I'm like in a world of illusions. The truth is like refreshing and funny to hear at the same time. Miss Cutie, right back at you. How's everyone's week been? You've been thinking about my last live for weeks. Appreciate the heart me. Thank you. How you stop them from harvesting your energy? Cut them off. Cut those energetic cords. When you start to get like really self-aware, this is something I've noticed about myself. Like anytime I talk to somebody now, I can feel like if someone is like pulling on my energy like immediately. And if you're not careful too, that will make you like hyper protective of your energy. Anyone that pulls on your energy, they're not immediately like a malicious type of person. You got to understand if you're vibrating very high, like a majority of people are going to pull at your energy. Sometimes it's cool to give someone energy. Sometimes people need it. The energy vampires, though, are people that like they continuously seek you out because they just want you as like a battery pack. And those are the people you got to stay away from. What's up, Polar? How are you? Right back at you, Corey. But yes, guys, today's topic is going to be monitoring spirits. Make sure you guys are moving in silence because if you guys have found this live, that means we are on a similar frequency. And that means you guys have a lot of people watching you guys, studying you, trying to figure you out. We live in a very weird world, guys. My name is YNA. I try to break down these weird tactics. And hopefully you guys are out there protecting your energy. But keep tapping the screens. On TikTok, once we get to 25K likes, we will get started. YouTube, I'm still not exactly sure how this app be working, but keep tapping the screens or liking the live. Appreciate it. Thank you. Earth Angel, synchronicity. User, thank you. Straight up weird energy out there, facts. Weird is definitely an understatement. And I'm gonna say this in all my streams. I thought everyone was normal like the first quarter of my life. Come to find out, there's a lot of people out there just possessed. Because in spiritual warfare, we battle not of the flesh, but of these spirits and principalities. You would think too that like if you lived your first life like that and then you wake up and see demons, that it will be scary. But honestly, it was very liberating for me to finally figure out that I was not the issue. I was just surrounded by some very bad people. And when you figure that out, you can start protecting your energy. This is your fourth life. You did a past life regression. Kendrick Lamar has a song called Reincarnated where he talks about past life regressions. Kendrick Lamar is like very tapped in. Raynell, appreciate the follow. What is it, like Friday night? Hopefully you guys' week has went well. Vec, appreciate it. Hopefully it went well. Hopefully you ended strong. And you guys are on top of the things you're supposed to be doing. I just dropped a video before, like on TikTok, before I came live. I got a download of like anyone of you guys that's out there and you guys are trying to do social media, clothes, music, or anything you've been working towards. Understand you are on the verge of blowing up. And you guys have been going through trials and tribulations to be able to handle the energy or handle the attention that's going to come your way. With more attention comes more monitoring spirits. But with more attention, more chance to be able to help out other people. So it's like a sacrifice. Like take me, for example. Like I honestly am not a social media person. I hate attention. But I do understand that like with the platform, I can help out other people. But there you are going to get the evil eye a lot when like you're in like the spotlight and stuff like that. So heads up to you guys that's about to blow up. And it's closer than you think. The intuitive feeler, appreciate the follow. I think I saw M in here. What's up, M? Ooh, guys started off with a galaxy. Thank you. You guys are amazing. What's my sign? I'm the best sign. Yeah, especially in the age of like social media, that evil eye is very like predominant. So a way you can know that you're dealing with like a monitoring spirit too is like start moving in silence. And once, like if you're not already moving in silence, but if you're used to posting, stop posting. And when you got people starting to hit you up, high chance that that person's probably a monitoring spirit. $10K more likes, guys. Keep tapping the screens. Welcome in. I am YNA. I talk a lot about spiritual warfare. Today, we're going to be talking about energy vampires, monitoring spirits, and different ways to protect yourselves. I think what I like about spiritual warfare as well is that, like when it comes to protection, you don't have to do something specific. Everyone has their thing that they like to do a lot more. Like some people pray, some people are celibate, some people know like how to alchemize really well. So the things we talk about, don't think that you have to do every single thing. Because a lot of people fall down the rabbit hole of like spiritual perfectionism. And they feel like they gotta do everything, and if they're not, they're failing. But I ain't worried about any of that. It's a mind game, facts. Yeah, fasting is one of my favorite things to do. I do intermittent fasting every single day. And if I ever need answers or clarity, I'll go on a longer fast. Fasting and working out, fire. Flying monkeys everywhere. Some of these terms they have is like very funny. Like flying monkeys always makes me laugh, but that's exactly what they are. And when it comes to monitoring spirits, we're gonna cover that a little bit as well. I'm a life path 11. LMAO flying monkeys. Envy, definitely. How did I find out? What? 222 likes, guys. Let's get to 25K likes. Misty, appreciate you being here. Getting hate videos made about me for just living and minding my business. Hey, sorry you're going through that. But like I had said earlier, the more you kind of like elevate, the more people are going to be making like videos about you. Celebrities, for example, like look at them. Like there's no celebrity out there like where you will have like 100% positive videos on them. It's always going to be someone out there. Thank you for the Galaxy W snub in the chat, guys. You guys are starting off very kind. Thank you. Thank you. Welsh, thank you for the gift as well. I left high school in 2013. In the fall of last year, when my spiritual awakening was being jump-started, a woman who I went to high school with, who I hadn't seen since that year, knocked my door asking for directions. Yeah, that's wild. That's a synchronicity right there. Yeah, nothing happens by accident. So definitely a synchronicity. And DJ, appreciate the follow. When the money coming. Hey guys, but we are going to get started. Before I get started, once again, thank you guys for being up in here. You guys showing up, all the people that's in alignment, you guys give me a platform. And I always want to make sure I give you guys my thanks. But yeah, spiritual warfare, guys. I always start these streams by giving a quick kind of rundown of what it is. Your whole life, you probably had people attacking you, doing all these weird things, and you thought all this stuff was just random. Come to find out, it is a battle going on out there, guys. The more tapped in you are, the more obvious these things come to be. But in spiritual warfare, we don't battle of the vessel, guys. A lot of vessels walking out there, they are empty vessels. They are people being controlled by programs, their spirits, their traumas. And when you are someone that is trying to figure out your own stuff and you're elevating and you're gaining knowledge, I hate to break it to you, but you become a target to these people because you're going to trigger the demons in other people. And the sad part about it is a lot of people are doing that and not even knowing what's going on. So people are triggering people, they start spazzing out. And then if you're unaware, you start thinking, am I the issue? Why did I cause them to do that? I'm sorry, da-da-da. But then once you start tapping in, you start to see that you are not the issue. And I don't want to say that and make it seem like we're just like completely perfect. We do make our mistakes. But the thing about us, we're not possessed by our own shadows. So if we ever mess up, we figure our stuff out and get better. But your presence alone is going to trigger someone's demon to try and attack you. And they're going to try to make you crash out. If I can say it the most simplest way, guys, spiritual warfare is designed to make you want to crash out. And if you guys are able to master the ability of staying calm and not letting these things bother you, you will come out on top of spiritual warfare. Amara, thank you. You are amazing. Because one thing in spiritual warfare, guys, is it's never going to stop. That's a question I get a lot. Do know spiritual warfare is a lifelong thing. But just because it doesn't stop doesn't mean it's all bad, because throughout life you're getting stronger and stronger. And eventually you get to a point where the attacks, they don't really affect you like that. You can see it happening. You can alchemize very easily, which is stuff I'm going to talk about like towards the end of the stream, of like different ways to protect yourselves. But yeah, it's also designed to harvest your energy. So when it comes to the spiritual warfare, guys, on this planet that we're on, it's a reincarnation trap. Some people out there, they don't want to connect. They just want control. And you have people at the top of this matrix, the warlocks, the narcs. They took it so far that they want control over the unawakened people, the empty vessels, and they created this thing called the Matrix. If you guys know what the Matrix is, drop ones down below. If you're like, why is he talking about a movie? What is his point? Drop twos down in the chat. But if you guys follow me, there's a high chance you already see it. You've awakened out of it. Because the only way you can really be in my chats is if you're in alignment. But law of polarity, I'm going to have the high vibrational people in here. But on the other side of that spectrum, I will attract like energy vampires trying to drain us of said energy. And with that being said, everyone in here, the more people that come in here, the higher probability that that's going to be. I know how to ignore energy vampires, but I do want to give the warning for the streams. If you guys are down there in the chats, do not argue with these people. You got to look at energy vampires as like agents of the Matrix. They're not real people. Healthy people aren't going around just attacking people. And they're trying to do that to drain your energy. So can't tell you guys what to do, but just a warning throughout this stream. Because remember, energy vampires want to harvest your energy. Your energy is what keeps this matrix going. Your energy is what keeps you in good spirits. It keeps the bad thoughts away. These energy vampires, they are miserable. If you can read the mind of an energy vampire, you will see how depressed they are. The world is a stage, guys. You can have someone that is an energy vampire, but they look normal. Michael, appreciate it. But they look normal, they smile, they act like normal people. But if you're able to read their minds, you will see that these people are really going through it. And because they can't figure it out, they got to seek out other high vibrational people to drain you in some type of way. There's many different ways that they can drain you. And that's why in my streams, I talk about the many different ways. Yesterday, we talked about narcissists. Today, we're going to talk a lot about monitoring spirits. But when it comes to all of these different demons at their baseline, they are just energy vampires. They just drain your energy like in different ways. One example I can give you guys is like if you have someone that's like always trauma dumping on you, like every conversation you have with that person, they're just trauma dumping. That is an energy vampire. And take everything I say with a grain of salt, guys. Just because someone is trauma dumping on you doesn't mean that is an energy vampire. Like, for example, if you have a friend in your life and they just went through a breakup, that's like an okay thing. That's your friend. You want to help that person out. But if they're not trying to figure it out, if they stay down there on that frequency, and now every time they come around you, they're talking about the same thing over and over and over. You give them advice, it goes out one ear and goes out the other. At that point, you got to set a boundary with that person because they're taking your energy and they're not doing anything with it. That's my biggest frustration when it comes to energy vampires, guys. It's like they take your energy, but they really don't know how to hold on to it. Because the difference between you and a energy vampire is your frequency. You guys are doing things on a daily basis to keep yourself at that frequency. The only reason you guys are able to find my chat is because you guys are out there doing high vibrational things. I don't even have to say this out loud, but I know a big reason a lot of you guys are in here is because you guys are celibate. is because you guys like connecting with nature. You guys like reading, praying, meditating. When it comes to energy vampires, guys, they hate doing that stuff. You can tell your friend that is probably always trauma dumping. You could probably try to put them on to the stuff that you are doing. They're probably going to act like they're listening to you, but in their head, they're just laughing at you. A lot of people you're going to see throughout this war, guys, is that you can't really save people that don't want to be saved. My rule of thumb is if I see that people are trying to grow, they're hearing my advice and they're using it, then I have no qualms with like giving them that advice like later on down the road. But if you keep talking to the same person and they're not listening to you, that is just draining your energy. And some people always want to ask, like, how can you tell if someone drained your energy? You'll feel it, definitely. You're going to feel lethargic. You're going to feel tired. You can't get out of your bed. You're going to be overthinking. Because when it comes to these demons, guys, they want to put their demons on you because they're fighting their own battles. If you can look into the spiritual realm, you will see an aura above everybody. And these demons, they have like actual demons like around them fighting and stuff like that. And then you guys have that light aura. And when you get around these demons, they're trying to put those demons like onto you guys. That's why some people you talk to after you have a conversation with them, you just feel bad. You just feel like you're overthinking. Just know sometimes like your thoughts aren't your own thoughts. Sometimes other people are planting those thoughts into your head. Sometimes other people's energy is messing with your energy and it's causing you to think in a different way. Knowing spiritual warfare, guys, is a constant battle of your frequency. Everyone you meet in a subconscious way, they're either trying to pull you to a higher frequency or a lower frequency. And that's why you got to be aware of who you keep in your company. Because you stay around an energy vampire for too long, that can really mess up your life. And that's going to be a topic for another day, but that's when we get into destiny swapping. Because if you're up here and you're vibrating at a certain level and you're dealing with someone that's down here, you're coming down to meet them at their level and you're bringing them up. So their life is getting better and your life is getting worse. So you guys got to be aware with who you keep into your life. And once again, for the new people that came in here, energy vampires for all these demons, that is their baseline. But how they take your energy, they do it in different ways. And today we are going to be talking about monitoring spirits. Destiny Jackson, I heard my name. Hey, but if you guys know what monitoring spirits are, drop ones down in the chat. If you don't know what they are, drop twos down in the chat. Yeah, but I see a lot of ones down in the chat. When it comes to social media, monitoring spirits is pretty like a popular topic, which that is a cool thing to see because it's always good to see other people awakening. Because when more and more people awaken, you got to understand that we are all connected, guys. I don't know if you guys know the laws of the universe, but law of divine oneness, basically because we're all connected, how do I explain it? If more people awaken, it ultimately makes our lives like a lot more easier. Because the more people that awaken, that's when you will have less NPCs. But the more NPCs that are out there, it just makes your life harder. Esmeralda, thank you. But yeah, guys, understand monitoring spirits. They are spirits that are sent to sabotage you guys. Woo, appreciate it. I'll be answering questions towards the end. Understand, guys, a lot of people in this reality, it's like crabs in a bucket. Everyone out there doesn't want you to succeed. They're going to act like they want you to succeed, because another thing I'm going to say a lot throughout this stream is that the world is a stage. And because the world is a stage, a lot of people are pretending. There's some people that they want to just be around you so they have access to you, so they will be able to sabotage you. Some of you guys have started to unlock your discernment. Some of you guys have been able to start seeing through the veil. And now you can see when someone is trying to sabotage you. But in the past, you probably was never able to figure this stuff out. You open up to the wrong person, guys, that can be the end of like whatever opportunity you had going on. It is that serious. It is that deep. For example, let's say you had a job interview. And in that job interview, you felt like it went perfect. You had the interviewer laughing. Everything just kind of went smooth. Now, remember, you're constantly timeline shifting. So if you left that job interview and you probably never told anyone you even had that interview, you probably would have got that job. But if you go out there and you open up to somebody that doesn't want you to have that job, that can literally ruin that opportunity for you. Because guys, there are literally people out there where they're literally preying on your downfall. And to a lot of you guys in here, you're not going to understand that because you guys probably live in abundance. You think in your head everyone can win. And honestly, that is the truth. But there's some people out there, they feel like if you win, they somehow feel like that's like a slap in the face to them. And they feel like they will never get an opportunity because you got that opportunity. There's probably someone out there struggling to get a job, and you probably still think that person is your friend, that person is your family member, and they're gonna be happy for you for the job opportunity. They might pretend. You might tell that person, I just had a job interview. And they might be like, oh, thank you. I hope you get it. I know you're gonna do it. Hey, you got this, you got this. Whole time they're thinking in their head like, hey, why does that person get the opportunity? They don't deserve it like I do. Crabs in a bucket, guys. They don't want you to succeed. And then when you tell that person you didn't get it, they'll act sad, but they're happy you didn't get the opportunity. And at least those type of monitoring spirits, I can have like a little bit more respect for them because at least they're trying to pretend that they're happy for you. Another weird thing you're going to see out there, guys, is that some people can't even hide it. How many of you guys have experienced that? Top ones in the chat where some people you open up about something and they look pissed off. You're looking at them. They get like a vein in their forehead. They look angry. You're like, hey, I just got a job opportunity. You're like start panting and stuff like that. A lot of ones in the chat, but when you guys didn't have this information, you probably always tried to like give the benefit of the doubt and you didn't want to believe what you were seeing. In your head, you would think to yourself like, nah, like, I don't know why they were like that. Maybe they were having a bad day, this and that. Whole time, these people are showing you they don't like you. And I always talk about in these streams, like discernment is going to be your best friend. When people are showing you that they don't like you or they don't mess with you, it is time to get away from that individual. Because how someone can sabotage you is not always like in an overt way. And what do I mean by that? Like sometimes when people hear sabotage, for example, if I use a job opportunity, an overt way will be them calling a job saying, don't hire that person. Sometimes people can sabotage you by putting thoughts into your head. Because one thing these monitoring spirits do, guys, they do witchcraft. And for you guys that don't know, witchcraft is the manipulation of energy. And if people are manipulating you, that is them doing witchcraft on you. That's why sometimes you guys have an idea in your head. You got to keep it to yourself. And I know like it's going to be kind of hard because you're probably going to think everyone wants you to win. And you know that if someone opened up to you, you would want the best for them. And some of you guys want that support from other people because you feel like that will make it easier for you. A lot of people out there, guys, is not there to support you. You can open up to a monitoring spirit, like tell them like, hey, I want to be an actor. And then because you really trust that person, they might say something like, but isn't it oversaturated? You sure you can do that? It's going to be very subtle. They're going to say like one little thing. And now you're in your head thinking like, oh man, can I do that? When the whole time, whatever you guys want to do out there, you can do it. And I'm here to let you guys know that right now, every single person in this chat, anything you want to do, if you can close your eyes and envision it, you guys can make it happen. But these monitoring spirits, they don't want you to come to that realization. They don't want you to believe in yourselves. That's why one way they'll sabotage you is by constantly trying to humble you. Because they don't want you to be confident. Because they know if you're confident and you believe in yourself, you're going to go out there and achieve the thing that they can achieve. These monitoring spirits, guys, will constantly put their limiting beliefs onto you. And you have to learn not to listen to them. Because once you awaken, you really do see that like anything is possible. And if you're thinking it's not, that's some type of curse that's on you. That's some type of hex. That's where those generational curse breakers come in, because you're trying to break a curse that was passed on to you down from like your family generations. A lot of you guys growing up, you were programmed to be poor. You were programmed to be in the system. And if you're a generational curse breaker, you're like one of the first people in your family to be like, I'm not going to do this. And when you're a generational curse breaker, when you're someone trying to go against the norms, trying to break out the matrix, you will be a threat. And when you guys are walking this journey, you just got to get used to it, honestly. There's going to be a lot of people out there, guys, that's not going to like you. It is lonely at the top. You're going to discover that the more you go up, the less and less people you can trust, the less and less people you can open up to. So I'm going to say at this point in time, just kind of get used to moving in silence, finding maybe that one or two people that you can open up to. Some of you guys are in the chat right now. You're like, I'm not opening up to anybody. And I don't blame you, because like you really got to like vet people out and see who you can trust. Because a lot of us throughout our lives, we have to find out the hard way that you can't really trust a lot of people. You tell someone you tell someone something, they're like, I'm not going to tell anybody. And they take that information and go right back to the source. And then you find yourself in like a whole bunch of trouble. That's another thing monitoring spirits will do, guys. They do witchcraft to get you to open up. And you're probably someone that you start thinking to yourself like, man, why did I open up to that person? What's one way they can do witchcraft on you to get you to open up? I talk a lot about this on my streams. They will mirror you. You guys got to be self-aware at all times. Like if you guys are just out there and you guys are on autopilot, you will get obliterated. Like you got to pay attention. What do I mean by that? So let's say that you probably have someone in your vicinity that you know is always a quiet person. They're kind of standoffish. Sometimes you're thinking to yourself like, man, does this person even like me? You're 100% sure that they probably don't like you. Now, let's say you go through something and now that person needs to get information from you. You go through something, now they walk up to you. They will mirror your personality back to you. And what do I mean by that? Let's say if you're a super smiley person, talkative, you just have like a bubbly personality. That person that was like never talking and had an attitude, now they're going to be bubbly towards you. And then you're going to think to yourself like, oh, wow, this person is cool. And the next thing you know, you're giving them all this information, and then that same information is going to make your life very harder down the line. Because these monitoring spirits, guys, they're always reporting back to other people. In the spiritual realm, how they talk about it is like monitoring spirits gets that information so they can take it back to the spiritual realm to sabotage you. When you're looking at it from like a 3D perspective, that monitoring spirit, they go get that information. If you guys think you can trust those people and that they're going to hold your secret and you guys are going to be best friends one day, you are sadly mistaken. You guys will see this happen a lot. Like, let's say you get into it with like a narcissist. You get into it with a narcissist, you probably cut them off. You probably finally get your peace. That narcissist is going to send a monitoring spirit your way to try to get information out of you. Because in this spiritual warfare, guys, when it comes to black magic, that is just a manipulation of energy. If you open up to people and you're telling them things, they can take that energy, manipulate it, and just do some type of witchcraft spell on you. You guys have probably just experienced that, or you know exactly what I'm talking about. And this doesn't just stop with like your friends. This can go to family members. You probably cut off a family member, then they send somebody to get information out of you. That is going to be someone that doesn't really care about you. They are trying to like appease the narcissist by any means necessary. And the way they're going to get that information out of you is by acting like they understand you, by acting like they're on your side. Hey, these monitoring spirits, guys, they're like very good actors. You're going to have a conversation with a monitoring spirit, then afterwards, you're going to be like, hey, finally someone that gets me. Maybe life isn't that bad. Whole time they're behind the scenes laughing like, I got that person. I got the info. And these monitoring spirits, guys, they are shameless. They're very shameless. You would think they'll get information from you and then wait like a couple days or wait like a week. If you guys was texting a monitoring spirit, every message you were sending probably was going into a group chat like immediately. A lot of covens out there, guys. Covens are just witches and warlocks getting together. A lot of them get together in group chats. They like to discuss you guys. They be screenshotting you, putting it in a group chat, talking about you guys. That's why I say you guys got to move in silence, because that evil eye, guys, is a real thing. There's someone out there, they be watching you, and every time you succeed, they get pissed off. And then when you're unawakened or like you try to tell this stuff to like other people, you can't really open up to people in the Matrix because they're looking at life from like their lens. Human beings are very solipsistic, where they think their only point of perspective is the only reality. So if it didn't happen to them, they're just going to think it's impossible. But you guys in here, you guys are sticking around and hearing what I'm talking about because these are things you've experienced yourself. Because when you have discernment, people could try to hide it as much as they want, but you can feel the jealousy. You can feel the envy and the hate. And that's why I'm saying thank God for discernment, because before I had that, I just thought everyone was on my side. Everyone wanted me to succeed. Whole time I had these people trying to sabotage me behind the scenes. These monitoring spirits, guys, they will follow you on social media, but they won't like a single post. That's them just trying to gain access to you to make sure you don't succeed. They're literally preying on your downfall. And if you're like in the beginning stages of like awakening, that will affect you a lot more. It's all like an energy thing. So like, let's say you have a monitoring spirit that's like down here and like you're up here. Their evil eye will like barely affect you. But if like you're just getting out the trenches, if you just awaken, I'm going to say be by yourself for a little bit, because that's going to be a very hard time for yourself. Because when you first awaken, these sleeper agents get awakened. They start attacking you, trying to figure out what you're doing because they're trying to pull you back into the matrix. If you're up here, this stuff stops affecting you less and less. But when you first awaken, hey, you got to protect yourself. I'm going to tell you this right now. Because everything they do is going to make you feel depressed. They're going to call you crazy. They're going to be screenshotting you, doing all these different things. If you're not protecting your energy, they're going to make you cry, make you feel less than. So you got to kind of get your power level up before you can really like be dealing with these monitoring spirits. But yes, guys, some people out there, they literally just watch you because they're hoping you fail. And that's from like a social media standpoint. It's kind of weird. People do this in real life as well. Like people will not like you, but like they'll want to stay around you. And even though I know why they do it, to this, like to me, it's still very, like I just find that very weird. I think about it like in my day to day and really try to rationalize like why they do it. And once again, I get why, but it's still very weird. Like they hate your guts, but they got to be around you because they got to make sure like they can like have access because they want to see your downfall. Like it says right here, guys, they're happy to see you fail. When you guys are empathetic individuals, if other people are failing, not succeeding, you guys get sad for them and you're trying to help them out. You're trying to uplift them. When it comes to monitoring spirits, they be so happy when you're failing. You will have that one person in your life, guys, and when you have discernment, you will be able to see it for yourselves. But you will have that one person in your life, like whenever you have something good going on, whenever you are smiling, having a good time, they seem like they're in like very bad spirits. But if you're like failing or like you got something going on, they get very happy to see you fail. If you guys have ever had someone like that in your life, drop ones in the chat. And you probably was always able to see that and sense that. But when you weren't awakened to spiritual warfare, you didn't want to believe what you were seeing. There's a lot of stuff you were seeing from the past, but like I said, you didn't want to believe what you were seeing. And I'm going to tell you guys, in spiritual warfare, you got to believe people when they show you who they are. Because whatever you caught them doing, it's going to get worse down the line if you leave that person in your life. For example, that person that's never happy to see you succeed, that person will snake you out later. They'll do something weird. And then when they do it to you, you only really have yourself to blame because they gave you the signs that they were going to like betray you or do something weird. These demons will like smile in your face. They'll be happy to see you fail. They'll say little weird things to let them know they're demonic. And everyone in this chat, you guys got to have the strength to like, when you see stuff like that, it is time to cut them off. That is a theme I like to talk about a lot in my streams, about like cutting individuals off. When you guys are on this journey and you guys are light workers and you're shining very bright, you got to protect your energy. We're in a spiritual warfare. We're outnumbered severely. For every one of us, it's like 50 of them. And if you know you got a monitoring spirit in your circle, you got to walk away from those people. Because there's so many different ways they can make your life very bad if you stay around them. Sometimes you guys might not even be anxious individuals, but when you have someone around you, you're just like anxious, sad, depressed, overthinking. Sometimes when you guys feel like that, you might just blame yourself. But remember, you've been doing that your whole life, and we got to stop doing that. I'm not always going to say it's like 100% the time, like it's always some outside demon. Sometimes you really got something going on in your life. But sometimes that's not even your own emotions. That's a monitoring spirit putting that energy on you. Because if you're like that, that means the demon is doing their job. And some of you guys have been able to sense and see that. And that's why some of you guys like to survive out there. You be pretending sometimes, especially if you're in an environment that you're forced to be in. Like your 9 to 5, for example. Some of you guys be pretending like that you're in down spirits sometimes because like whenever you're happy, you might have a manager start attacking you. You might have a coworker start attacking you. Mystic Rose, thank you. But yeah, guys, discernment is key. Once you guys are very tapped in, you can see these people coming from a mile away. Truth Rises, what's up? Another way to know you're dealing with a monitoring spirit, and once again, take everything I say at face value, because what I'm going to say right now is that they ask a lot of questions, but that doesn't mean that everyone that's asking you a lot of questions is immediately like a monitoring spirit. You got to be able to read the intention behind people. If someone is like genuinely curious about you and they're trying to connect with you, then yeah, you can open up to that person. You got to be able to read people's spirit. Some people, you can tell they're only really asking you questions because they are trying to figure you out and they're trying to see if you have any type of weakness. Once again, this is going to be another weird concept when it comes to people and society in general. You probably didn't know people were doing that until a very at least not early on within your life, because you thought that everyone that was asking you questions and having a conversation with you was just trying to connect with you in a genuine way. In spiritual warfare, guys, know that a lot of people sold their souls a long time ago. And because they sold their souls, they can't connect with you in a normal way. Where you're looking for connection, sometimes you guys are looking for connection in people that cannot give that to you at all. And that person that you're dealing with, they're just trying to study you and learn you, because people feel like if they know your weakness, if they know what to use to attack you with, that they can gain power over you. Like, it makes them feel important. It's like a myriad of reasons why someone is acting that way. Mainly, it's like their trauma is kind of bringing out that demon. And by them having that information, it gives them a sense of control, when at one point in their lives, they felt like they didn't have that control. That's why, once again, guys, what you're going to hear me say a lot throughout this stream is move in silence. Stop talking to everybody. Not everybody is your friend. And I know people like us, we got that Care Bear energy. We got that SpongeBob energy where we think everyone has our best interest at heart. Pretty much opening up to these demons, and they take that information and they use it against you in some type of way. Sometimes they hear something about you and they're like, oh, they're insecure about that. I can use that to attack them later. Which is a very weird thing to do. But like I said, Michelle, appreciate you. Everyone in chat, is the background making it hard to read? If it is, I'll change it to another picture right now. Drop ones if it's hard to read the chat right now, guys. And we'll appreciate it. I got y'all. And thank you, Michelle. Appreciate it. So I'm gonna leave it on this screen, but I'm gonna still talk about monitoring spirits. YouTube, you guys are good? All right, YouTube side, looks like you guys are good, so I'm gonna keep it like that. TikTok, I'm gonna keep the screen like this, but we're still gonna be talking about monitoring spirits. But like I said, guys, make sure you're moving in silence. what they don't know they can't use against you. They're going to get very frustrated too when you are trying to keep information to yourself. And that is not your concern. When it comes to like boundaries, guys, remember, boundaries is not for the other person. It is for you. Saying no to a monitoring spirit, you shouldn't feel bad about that. And if you do, you got to start training yourself to not feel bad about not letting people cross over your boundaries. And when you first start saying boundaries, it is going to feel very weird. You're going to think to yourself like, that felt horrible. And if you feel that, that's just kind of based on stuff that happened to you when you were young. A lot of you grew up with family members that made you feel like a villain for setting a boundary. But setting boundaries is not a bad thing, guys. If a monitoring spirit comes up to you and asks a very personal question, you don't got to answer it. And there's different ways that you can do to like get out of asking said question. You can literally tell that monitoring spirit, like, I don't want to talk about that. It's not a rude thing to do. They were trying to cross over your boundaries by asking something personal. Sometimes you can keep it very short, just say no. Or you can, if you have good conversation skills, you can kind of like maneuver the conversation to get you away from even having to like talk about said thing. And the more you deal with these monitoring spirits, guys, the easier it is going to be over time. But once again, guys, don't give out like your weakness or anything like that. So you got to be aware of when you are conversating with one. And once you have discernment, you'll be able to feel if they're like poking for like information. Be careful like what you post on social media, because what you post can be used against you. And that's what I always say in spiritual warfare. Like whatever you say can and will be used against you. At this moment in time, guys, people are watching you because they're trying to figure out said weakness. And they go pretty deep with how they'll get this information, especially in the age of social media. Some of you guys might think that when you block somebody, you are safe. But as soon as you block somebody, you got user like 1, 2, 3, 4 that follows you. These people will make so many fake accounts to still get information out of you guys. And that's how obsessive these spirits will be. You will know that when you cut off somebody, that it's not that easy. You just cut them off and you'll be able to walk away from them. Healthy individuals will be able to walk away. But when you're dealing with demonic people, cutting them off, they will literally turn into a monitoring spirit. And if they can't get information from you guys out of social media, these people will literally like interview other people to get said information. And they will like manipulate those individuals to make it seem like they're trying to get it for like a genuine reason. Whole time they're trying to get said information for a demonic reason. Another thing monitoring spirits are going to do, guys, they're going to temperature check you. If you guys know what temperature checking is, drop ones down in the chat. And real fast, thank you guys for supporting me. Drop me a follow. I go live almost every single night. If you guys want to watch this stream afterwards, go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube. Link is going to be in the bio. So temperature checking, what temperature checking is pretty much people, they will just hit you up to still see if they have access to you. And there's many different reasons why someone will do that. Monitoring spirits will do it because a lot of times they will do witchcraft on you. and they will hit you up to see if the witchcraft kind of went through. If you ever get people like calling you guys and like they're just asking you questions and it doesn't feel like a genuine conversation, that is them temperature checking you. Someone that doesn't want to connect with you in any type of way, every 2 to 3 weeks, they hit you up. They're like, hey, is everything cool at your job? Are you still with that person? Are you still doing that? And then you give them the information and then they're just gone from your life. That is a monitoring spirit. And if any people are out there temperature checking you guys don't need to have those people in your life. Because another thing too, when people temperature check you, your discernment will sometimes let you know that that person betrayed you. Because once again, a lot of all monitoring spirits that are around you guys, they don't like you. And then you probably have people plotting on you behind the scenes. And then sometimes a monitoring spirit will think that you're onto them, that you're figuring them out. And they'll hit you up because they're trying to see, do you know? Or how much do you know? Hey, when they do that, guys, you guys got to cut those people out of your life. Another way to know you're dealing with the monitoring spirit and the one that temperature checks is if someone can't support you out loud. If they can only support you in the DMs, if they can only support you away from other people, that is a monitoring spirit. Because when people do that, guys, it's because something happened behind the scenes. They made you some type of enemy. And at that point, it is no longer cool to support you. And when you guys have pattern recognition and you can read energy, you'll be able to feel when that happens. You probably will have someone that was supporting you in front of other people, then one day they just stopped. But they're sending you DMs like, hey, like keep going. I know you got this and that. That's why a lot of you guys are going to freak out people out there because they're going to think to themselves, how did they figure it out? How did they know that we betrayed them? No. And then you guys are going to start having people be paranoid. And you guys are going to cause wars amongst these groups, these covens that be coming against you guys. Because they're going to think that someone told you, they have a snitch. They're going to think you're spying. Go figure, guys. The monitoring spirits that are spying on you is going to say you're the one that's spying. One thing about spiritual warfare, guys, you got to get used to like dealing with delusion. When you're like rooted down in reality and you're a seer, you're going to start to see there's like a lot of delusional people out there. But once you guys are like aware of this stuff and you guys know you've hit a certain frequency, you understand that whatever they're accusing you of doing is like what they're doing themselves. So if they like out of nowhere just tell you, you're spying on me, you're like, oh, that's a monitoring spirit. I gotta get away from this person. Because you start to see like when people accuse you of things, they kind of like expose how they themselves are thinking. But yeah, guys, when you guys are dealing with people that are temperature checking you behind the scenes, that means some type of betrayal happened. And when you start to sense that stuff, you need to get away because some group is kind of plotting on you behind the scenes. When you start feeling that weird energy, it is time to go. Because another thing they're going to do is these covens are always going to send people your way to try to get said information out of you. Lucas, appreciate it. And if you give that monitoring spirit information, once again, they're going to take it right back to that coven. A lot of times you guys think you can open up to people and it's coming from a genuine place. It's coming from someone else trying to understand you. But a lot of covens be plotting on you guys and they need said information to cause your downfall. Because once again, anything you say can be used against you. And people will twist what you say in the weirdest way. I've experienced that. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys experience it as well. If you guys deal with people twisting your intentions, drop ones down in the chat. If you guys deal with people constantly misunderstanding you, misinterpreting you, drop ones down in the chat. Do know, guys, that's not like an accident. These demons, they got to maintain plausible deniability. They'll try to like misinterpret what you say or twist it and make it seem like it's in an innocent way, but they know what they're doing. They try to make you seem like you're the demonic one, like you're doing this, you're doing that, but it's all just projection. Because remember this, guys, these demons know who you are before you even know it. When someone first meets you, they sense your energy. They know who you are. And that's why they try to latch onto you, because they know you have a good spirit. They know you are a good person. But then when they fall out with you, they're going to try to make you the most evil person in the world. And then you being a genuine person that you are, you're going to be asking yourself like, man, am I this? Am I that? Did I really do that? Could I have done this, that? And these demons out here, guys, are there to put you in a state of confusion. And that's why when it comes to spiritual warfare, you just have to kind of really work on yourself. Get your frequency to a level where you see the truth and you fully love yourself. Because if you fully love yourself, you're not going to allow demons to kind of manipulate you to make you think that you're the demon. Because that's the biggest tactic that they're going to do. And you're going to deal with this stuff a lot, guys. Like spiritual warfare, once again, this stuff doesn't stop. But once you see the signs, you'll be able to protect yourself and move accordingly. And Michelle, you want me to switch to something else? We're going to keep getting that question like over and over. Overlord, appreciate the follow. Yeah, these demons are going to gaslight you. Hey, YouTube, give me 1 second. But let me know, Michelle. If not, I'm going to just keep going. But if I keep seeing the question, I can just move it to another slide. The spiritual warfare one I had in the beginning. And then I'll move it back to the other one, like towards the end. But once again, guys, when you guys are on this journey, understand when your frequency hits a certain level, you guys are going to hit this thing called like the celebrity aura, the celebrity frequency. And because of that, you're going to get a lot of people that is like very obsessed with you guys. Once again, you can't really tell this stuff to like other people, because people are going to think that like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. People aren't really like that. You're imagining it. When you're in this matrix, guys, people are going to constantly gaslight you. When you're someone that's walking in truth and you are a seer, there's not that many of us out here. A lot of people don't really like handle the truth. So if you guys are in the chat, hey, W's to all you guys. Everyone put W's. You guys have made it. For some reason, you guys just really prefer the truth over the illusion. A lot of people aren't like that. A lot of people are choosing to stay in the illusion, which there's nothing wrong with that. Everyone can live the life that they want to live. But do understand, when you're the like one of the few 10% that is walking in truth, they're going to keep gaslighting you. If you go out there and talk about this stuff that we talked about today, they're going to say you're crazy, you don't know what you're talking about. And the whole time, they are doing the same things that we're talking about in here. A lot of times you're going to open up to other people because you want them to empathize with you. And they're not seeing what you're seeing, or they're pretending not to see what you see, because they themselves, they're operating in the same toxic behavior. When you're a light worker, guys, toxic people are not going to like you. And probably when you were younger, you wanted them to like you. Now you're happy with that. Like, all right, if toxic people don't like you, that's actually a very good thing. People, ugly spirits aren't going to like you. And that's why when you get to a certain frequency, it's like you guys don't even be bothering people. Every enemy you guys probably have in your life is someone that just started an issue with you for no reason. If that is the case with you guys, drop ones in the chat. It's not like you guys are walking out there. It's like, all right, who wants to be my enemy? You just be minding your business and people just start getting triggered. That's why a lot of you guys are going nonverbal, because you guys know when you speak to people and they're dealing with something, they're going to take that out on you. And because this is like a spectrum, some of this stuff is going to be obvious and some of these demons are going to be able to hide themselves. Remember, it's not just like your friends, like this could be your family members as well. And if you have a family member that is like really asking about your life, trying to figure out what you got going on, their jealousy and envy can be what can like start bringing you down. For some of you guys, like I always recommend getting away from your family for a little bit, because when you're around that energy, it's hard to elevate in an energy that's trying to keep you stagnant. Every time you try to talk about elevating, you got them hating on you. Hefe, thank you. W Hefe in the chat, guys. But you got them hating on you. You guys probably never got support from any of your family members or friends. And if that was your case, guys, I'm sorry that's what it was. Because us as empaths, we want everyone to succeed. And you were put into an environment where they didn't want you to succeed at all. And once again, these people know who you are before you do. They knew it from when you were a kid. This is how early this stuff goes on. When you were a kid, you said something. You said something or operated within a way where they knew you were different. And remember, empty vessels, they get taken over. Your family is like monitoring spirits, but they don't even know they're monitoring spirits. So from a young age, you had watchers on you, just watching you and trying to keep you stuck in a bubble your whole life. But once again, guys, W's in the chat, because even though you had all that opposition, you guys still made it out. And sometimes you might not know how big of a deal that actually was. But once again, there's only like 10% of us awakened out here. You guys saw the gate to open and you're like, you know what? I know I'm probably going to get jumped when I get awakened, but I don't care. I know people are going to be calling me crazy. It's going to be isolating, but I don't care. Because to get to this side, guys, it's like an initiation. Like you awaken and you start to see there's this group called the Collective. If you guys don't know you're in that group, that's what it is, guys. Not like we're meeting up in person. It's just this like group. You heard there's other awakened people, like we're all kind of spread out. But to be a part of the Collective, you got to get jumped in. And it's not getting jumped by strangers. You got to get jumped by your family members and your friends. Because to hit this frequency, guys, you had to go through humiliation rituals. These monitoring spirits did not want you to wake up. They saw you start to awaken. Your family member, they took over immediately. They started looking around like, who allowed this to happen? When for a lot of you guys, it was them that awakened you. Because if they didn't attack you as much as they attacked you, you probably would have never knew you was like anything like special. You probably would have never knew you had a calling, a mission. Because you was just minding your business this whole time. You wasn't really the most confident. You just thought because they always made you feel like you were the issue, you just always felt like, all right, I'm the problem. But they can only do that for so long. Like if the people are constantly jumping you and everyone's constantly going against you, eventually you're gonna ask why, and you're gonna try to figure this stuff out. Because they're not just attacking you for no reason, and you probably thought that for a long period of time. But at a certain point, you're like, all right, this stuff seems kind of personal. Because why do these people hate me so much and they don't even know who I am? Why is like my family so set out to not support me or do anything? Because that's literally how it was for you guys. You guys were surrounded by crabs in a bucket. For some of you guys in this chat, it wasn't just your family members and your friends. It was literally your whole hometown against you. And when they saw you getting closer to the truth, they sent you straight to the shadow realm. Welsh, thank you. They sent you straight to the shadow realm. They did a humiliation ritual that was supposed to keep you down there in the lower frequency. That's what I be calling it, the shadow realm. And once again, guys, you guys are very strong people because somehow you climbed yourself out of that by yourself. Some of you guys went to the shadow realm more than one time. You had no one to help you out. Because remember, guys, the world is a stage. These monitoring spirits, they were pretending to be supporters within your life. We are also in this thing called Truman Show, guys. And you guys thought those actors was actually people that was going to be there for you through thick and thin. And that was like the most heartbreaking revelation a lot of you guys got. Because not only did they not help you out of that spot, they were literally like stomping you and making sure you stayed in that spot. And as I said earlier in the stream, when it comes to monitoring spirits, they're like people that hate you, but they stay around you. They want to see you fail. And for a lot of you guys, when you guys hit that rock bottom, a lot of people are celebrating. You guys have people in a group chat like talking about you. Like, hey, do you know such and such went through this? You guys got no humanity out of these people. Like, instead of them trying to help you out, Master, thank you. You have people popping fireworks. Because remember, guys, like when you guys are a light worker and you guys are vibrating at the level that you're at, you probably don't know this, but a lot of people are putting you on a pedestal. And because they're putting you on a pedestal, they're constantly comparing themselves to you. And that is a very exhausting thing to go through. Because if they're constantly comparing themselves with you, that means they're always going to be in a secret competition. That means they're always going to hate in secret and secretly hope you will fail. And that's why those people were celebrating. People that you saw was always kind of like down, depressed. They were super happy to see you down in that position. They were happy to be in a position to kind of position themselves above you. They will act like they were giving advice, but they didn't really care if you got out of that situation or not. But one thing about those humiliation rituals, guys, you can either fail, succumb to that energy, let it do what it was intended to do. And what was it intended to do? It was designed to make you guys want to give up, make you guys want to go to the house, cry, ask why is this happening to me? And you guys were probably like that in the beginning, but one day you told yourself no one is coming to save you. And after that, you got to work. Even though that was probably one of the hardest things to do, you climbed yourself out of it. You got away from the monitoring spirits. And as I said earlier, monitoring spirits are just energy vampires. Rise of a Hero, thank you. Yeah, that's where I got the Shadow Realm from, Yu-Gi-Oh! But those monitoring spirits, those energy vampires, you start to see that when you got away from them, life got a whole lot better for you guys. If that was your guys' experience, drop YNAs in the chat. YNAs in the chat to let people know they're not alone. Because that's what energy vampires do. You stay around them, your life is not going to be able to take off. Because you're going to constantly be around people that's making you feel less than, unconfident, lower your self-esteem. And even though that was probably the hardest thing you ever went through, you finally learn how to stand by yourself. And learning how to stand by yourself is a beautiful thing, guys, because once you're able to do that, you're no longer going to let no demon into your life. Now, if you guys see you're dealing with the monitoring spirit, narcissists, succubus, destiny swappers, you guys are able to cut them off very easily. Your cutoff game has to be on point, guys, if you're going to survive on this journey. There's a lot of weird and obsessive people out there. If you don't know how to cut people off, you will continuously get sent to the shadow realm. As soon as your discernment lets you know you're dealing with someone weird, it is time to go. If you are feeling a feeling about somebody and you're thinking to yourself, like, are they weird? Are they not? You're not feeling that for no reason. When you first start unlocking discernment and you were dealing with the monitoring spirit, you would probably disassociate as soon as they start asking you questions and being demonic, because that's your higher self, like, letting you know, like, hey, that's a monitoring spirit. And if you guys choose to ignore your discernment and push forward, you only have yourself to blame for what's to come. Sometimes when you guys are talking to people and like you blank out, you forget what to say. That is your higher self, God, trying to stop you from saying what you're going to say. Because once again, opening up to the wrong people, guys, can sabotage what you got going on. Another example I'm going to give you guys is if you guys have a talking stage, if you guys have a relationship, opening up to the wrong person can literally sabotage your whole talking stage or relationship. You guys have probably noticed that has happened. That's like a curse. If you guys have noticed that happen in your life, drop ones in the chat. Everything was going well. You guys were vibing. You're like, oh man, this is probably my person. As soon as you open up about that person or like you post them on social media, now you guys are arguing. Now you guys are fighting, all these different things. You open up to a monitoring spirit, you got 30 seconds before that relationship just implodes. And I'm not saying you can never go public, but you got to make sure you guys solidify. Like, you got, that's your person. And once your guys' energy is merging, then the monitoring spirits can't sabotage what you got going on. But if it's in the beginning stages, you guys got to move in silence. Because remember, we are dealing with people that are miserable. You're thinking to yourself, if someone comes up to you and opens up about dating somebody, you'll be happy for them. Like, hey, congrats. How long were you guys dating for? And you're putting that positive energy on that relationship. Some people that are very lonely, people that got hurt in the past, they got cheated on, they don't want other people to be happy. So when you open up to them, and remember, this is going to be a confusing thing because you're going to open up to them. If it's in a text, they'll give you a bunch of emojis, tell you I'm so happy for you. In person, they'll be jumping up and down like, you're amazing. Oh my, this is so amazing. Whole time, they're preying on your downfall. They're like, why does that person get to have somebody? I've been single for this amount of time. This is not fair. And that energy, guys, once it's strong enough, that will sabotage what you got going on. The world is a stage. A lot of people don't want you to be happy. If it was up to some individuals right now and they were in control of your life, they will literally just have you depressed. Your happiness offends a lot of people, guys. And that's why these monitoring spirits are trying to figure you out, because they're trying to get you to be as depressed as them. The information they get out of you is things that they can use to do a humiliation ritual on you. Be aware at all times, like when you're in a group dynamic. When you guys hit that celebrity aura, that celebrity frequency, you guys are getting a lot of attention, but you don't even like attention because you know what it can bring. The more attention you get, the more people can put that evil eye on you. So if you're in a group dynamic A lot of people are probably vibing with you. You're probably having a cool conversation. But there's probably that one individual that's in that group that is looking at you, and they embarrass you in front of these other individuals. How can they humiliate you? Because if they're able to do it, they can take your spot in that moment. They want to siphon all that attention that you are getting. And what I'm gonna say, guys, like as I always say in these streams, is just ignore, ignore, ignore. If someone is trying to embarrass you in front of other people, don't make excuses for people. We are out of our unaware days, our naive days of being like, they didn't mean it like that. Hey, there's truth to every joke. If someone has to like embarrass you in front of other people, they're projecting some type of insecurity on you. And to make themselves feel better, they got to pull you down to their level. Remember, guys, crabs in a bucket, that comes with spirituality as well and your confidence. A lot of people aren't going to like that you guys are confident and that you guys figured your stuff out. The world is a stage. People aren't out here saying they're insecure, jealous, or envious. This is stuff you got to see and be able to like feel it. You will rarely have someone just come up to you and say, I'm jealous of you and I'm gonna do this. That's not how the world works. And that's why a lot of us was confused growing up, because we're like, if they don't say it, then we're not gonna think it. But a lot of this stuff is happening in the shadows. And when someone is jealous and you have discernment, you'll be able to see it. Michelle, thank you. You'll be able to see it. Like, they'll say something. And when you start to become in tune with this stuff, you start to realize that demons tell on themselves every single time. Yes, we can talk about how to tell you're dealing with the monitoring spirit by them asking a lot of questions, by them moving like this. But if you really pay attention, they will like say something that will they will really snitch on themselves. They will say stuff and you will think to yourself, like, why did they just say that? They'll say something and you'll be in your head like, oh, this is my last time talking to this person. But some of you guys don't have that strength yet. They'll say something weird and you would think to yourself like, okay, it was a little weird, but I'm gonna let it pass. Remember, that weirdness kind of slipped out a little bit. And that means they're holding back a lot of weirdness. When you see that one weird thing, understand that if you ignore it, they're gonna do another weird thing. You ignore that, it's gonna keep getting weird and weird until you got a full-blown like a psychopath in front of you. And that's what's probably happened with a lot of you guys. Like, you guys let people be in your life for too long. Remember, when you guys are a light worker and you guys are in this chat, you hit the celebrity aura. You guys can't give people access to you for too long that don't deserve to be in your life. There's just some people you can't give proximity to, guys. They start to get very weird. There's some people, it's only better if they can like love you as like a concept. They'll put you on a pedestal. They're probably saying very good things about you from afar. But if you give that person proximity and you let them be weird, they're going to start doing some very, very weird things. And if you take too long to get rid of them, that's when you're going to deal with them probably trying to stalk you, getting very obsessive. You can't just cut them off in a regular way. You cut them off and now you got to go to war with them. If that's been your guys' experience, drop ones in the chat. That's why some of you guys, sometimes you think to yourself like, man, should I cut them off? I know if I cut them off, though, they're probably going to go to war with me. They're probably going to start lies, saying this and saying that. Hey, but when you really look at those situations, guys, I know it seems like a lose-lose. Because on one side, it's like cut them off and go to war with them. Or it's like keep them in your life and still allow them to siphon you. Which one would you guys rather do? Cut them off or keep them in your life? Me, myself, I'm going to cut them off. Because yes, you might go to war with me, but that war will eventually end. Yeah, some people stalk for a very long time, but remember, if they stay in your life, they have access to you. At first, it's going to be very genuine how they try to get back into your life, or not genuine. What I mean to say is they're going to put on a bigger mask to try to come back into your life. You cut out that monitoring spirit, they're going to hit you up like, oh, like what? Like, why'd you cut me off? I'm changing. I'm good now. I see the error in my ways. That is weaponized empathy, guys. These demons do not have empathy. So don't let them try to pretend with you or try to like make it seem like they learned the error of their ways. That's them trying to see if they can fool you at that point, because they need to come back into your life by any means possible. And these are all the tests you go through on this journey, because you failed that test by letting that person come back into your life. You finally got the strength to walk away, but you got to be strong enough to lead them out of your life. Because if they pull you back into their life, it's going to be the same cycle. Same cycle. Sometimes God will show you people too. Like you probably didn't talk to someone in a very long time. For you guys that are people that are constantly growing, it's like a weird concept, but there's some people out there that are not growing at all. They stay stuck at one level. So some people, you might meet them like 5 years in the future, and they come back around and they're the same. Still talking the same way, still thinking the same way. And sometimes God will do that to show you just how far you've came on your journey. But like I say, if you guys let those monitoring spirits back into your life, you guys will start noticing that you're starting to overthink again. You're starting to have anxiety. You're starting not to feel good, because there's a monitoring spirit that's currently in your life that is gossiping about you. Gossiping is a form of witchcraft, guys. If you guys have like the wrong people in your life and they're constantly gossiping about you behind the scenes, that is what's making you feel tired. That's what's making you guys feel like very like lethargic. If you guys wake up in the middle of the night at 3 a.m., that's probably someone doing witchcraft on you. That's probably someone in your circle that is constantly talking about you behind the scenes. And I don't even have to tell you guys this, because you guys are probably feeling that and feeling a weird feeling when you're around some people. And you got to learn to listen to that stuff. If you guys knew all the things people were saying behind your back, you would cut people off way, way faster. These group chats, people despise you guys. I don't want to be the one to tell you guys that, but as light workers, you would think that people will love us. Like how they make it seem on paper, like light worker, shine bright. You would think people will just love us, want to protect us. But in this demonic world, guys, like we're the enemy. Like we're the bad ones. When there's only 10% of us and a lot of people are operating within that demonic energy, they hate that we are, like we're not pretending. Because remember, those people are pretending, but we naturally embody the things that they are pretending to be. So when they see that you're actually a good person, that just makes them upset. When you're like smiling, just being positive, they're just looking at you like, who do you think you are? And they got to go to other weird people to kind of justify why they are thinking the things that they think. Because you would think that the way they're thinking, no one's going to back these things up. Hey, you'd be surprised. They can literally find 5 other delusional people, and the next thing you know, you're going up against another group. And you're like, why are they believing this? They don't even have proof. Hey, they don't need proof. In this spiritual warfare, guys, they don't care about the truth. If they cared about the truth, they wouldn't be in the Matrix. They wouldn't be operating in their demonic energy, because they'll be trying to figure their stuff out. And once again, guys, when it comes to defending yourselves, don't do it. You're going to think to yourself like, no, I'm gonna clear my name. I don't want these people saying these things. Don't do it. A lot of us had to learn that the hard way. Because a lot of you guys were born around these monitoring spirits, these watchers, and you'll start to realize they're all in on it. Like it's very like it's a scary thing to like realize. But when it comes to people like us guys, you guys probably has like never really met another person like us in real life. And when you are around these groups and you're trying to defend yourself, you're gonna open up to somebody that is like in on it too and has been plotting on you. When it comes to these group chats that are against you guys, like it's a lot of people in there. It's a spectrum of it. Some of the people are obvious. Some of the people you would have never expected. We got a lot of covert narcs out there, guys. A lot of people know how to pretend very well. You will have someone literally in your face be smiling, saying they hate drama. They try to stay away from all that stuff. And they be the ringleader. They be the one leading the charge. And that's going to confuse you because you're taking everything at face value. Like, you're like, nah, they said they don't like drama. They said they're not about that. So I know they're not a part of it. Remember, guys, we got to stop being naive. A lot of these people are wearing masks. But like someone said in the chat, it'd be the nicest ones. That they do that to kind of get you to lower your guard so you'll open up, so you'll trust them. But remember, spiritual warfare is like it's not really much people you can really trust out there. All I can really say is stay on the path, keep elevating. Eventually you will manifest one of us out there. But until then, you gotta just be careful with the things you say. Because once these individuals latches onto you and they get very obsessive, we live in the age of like where people like stalking is very normalized. And if you don't believe me, we'll like ask the chat. If you guys are currently getting stalked by a monitoring spirit, a G stalker, drop ones down in the chat. Remember, when it comes to these energy vampires, these people have to like siphon you. They have to get that energy from you. If people can't be in your life as a friend, if people can't be in your life as like a relationship partner, they're gonna settle on like being your enemy. And look how many ones in the chat. A lot of people getting stalked out there by people that can't let you go. Because once again, when your frequency hits that celebrity aura, people are going to realize that they can't replace your energy easily. And when they can't replace your energy easily, they start to get very obsessive. You got the burner account start following you guys. Some of these people, and I'm sorry if you're going through this, they'll actually follow you in real life. God forbid these people know where you work at. They will come to your job. Like a lot of these monitoring spirits, they have no shame to them. Cyber stalking, like I said, guys, that gets very normalized. And that's why these things suck as well, because some of these people, like what they'll do, you would think that if they did something to you and they walk away because they can't face what they did to you, you would think they will just leave you alone at that point. But what these demons do is like they'll do you wrong. They'll run away because they can't face themselves. And now they got to watch you. A lot of you guys are currently under surveillance by people with a guilty conscience because they think you're going to be out there trying to expose them. Because remember, these demons project themselves onto you guys. So they know if they were in your position, they will expose you, like straight up. Like someone does something weird, they'll put you on social media immediately. Like, oh, this person did this, they did that. For you guys, at this point in your journey, you just want peace. So when someone does something weird to you, like you don't even want to like kind of like figure like out what they are. You're like, all right, hey, you know what? You got me. Somehow you got under my radar. Somehow you got under my discernment. You got me. It's all good. I'm gonna go over here. You go be weird over there. But they can't accept that. Like once they do something weird to you, lady, appreciate it. Once they do something weird to you, now they got to have you under surveillance. And if this stuff first started happening to you guys couldn't believe what you were seeing. You're like, why is this person still watching me? They did me wrong. I just walked away. What's happening? These demons thrive in chaos and like negativity, guys. Walking away from a demon like peacefully, they hate that. And also, too, they live in fear because they think that you're one day going to expose them for who they are. Demons' biggest fear, guys, is people seeing them for who they are. And that's why they hate you guys, because you guys hold up mirrors to them. This is their biggest fear. You hold up a mirror and they see who they are and like, put it away, put it away. And they think you're going to be out there telling people who they are. And that's why it's going to suck for you guys as well, because if someone did something to you, those people have like main character syndrome. They're going to think that everything you do at that point has to do with them. So let's say you got into it with the monitoring spirit. They did something to you. You walked away from them. But along this journey, that's not going to be your last weird person you're going to encounter. So you probably like got into it with this individual. You went here. You dealt with 2 more demons. You got up here. You dealt with 3 more demons. Like you're constantly slaying demons and like getting to that next level. But this demon down here, they can't let you go. So even though it might be like 5 months, 6 months, a year, they're going to think anything you do has to do with them. Because they're so scared that you're going to expose them or something. So let's say like, for example, like you're like on like TikTok, you can like repost other TikToks. If a demon did something to you like a year ago and you repost anything that even kind of resembles what that situation was about, they're going to think you're talking about them. And some of these demons, they get excited if they feel like you're talking about them, because that makes them try to attach their energetic cord back onto you. Some of these demons will like purposely try to make themselves your op so they can reconnect that energetic cord to you. And with that being said, guys, you guys cannot react to these people. Hey, lady, thank you, thank you. That's that reactive abuse we be talking about, guys. People are going to poke, poke, poke. If you react, you're going to think that they're going to get mad. They get happy. Because all these demons want at the end of the day is your attention. Hey, lady, you're going crazy with the gifts. Thank you. All these demons want at the end of the day is your attention, your energy. And if you react, you're going to give it to them and attach that cord to them. But if you starve them out, and I know it's going to be a hard thing to do. I don't want to say this is like the easiest thing to do. They're going to like be poking at you guys, stalking you guys, cyber stalking you guys. And you guys are going to think to yourselves like, man, how do I ignore this stuff? Now, for one, if they're stalking you guys in real life, I do say take the 3D route. Call the cops. Set a restraining order. But if they're doing it in a way where like, all right, it's not really affecting you, you just got to ignore it. Understand that we're all going through this stuff out here. YNA's in the chat, guys. YNA in the chats. You're not alone. Like, we're all going through this stuff. That's why I can make a video and say, you're under surveillance by this and that. And you guys be thinking, how does he know this stuff? Are you spying on me? Are you the spy? Nah, because we're in alignment, guys. We're all dealing with stalkers out here. You guys have officially hit that celebrity aura. And with it, it comes a lot of good stuff. I'm not going to lie. But with law of polarity, it does come with a lot. Because these monitoring spirit guys, they're going to be so obsessed with you guys. And then once again, the scary part is these vessels don't even know they're being used. When you guys are at work, probably got empty vessels getting possessed by these monitoring spirits. You guys have monitoring spirits within your families. They themselves don't even know why they're asking you these questions. Their vessel has to kind of justify why they asked the question. The whole time, though, it's a spirit trying to get said information out of you. And a lot of these demons are going to be mad when you start moving in silence and you don't let them know what you got going on. And once again, it does not matter. Lady, thank you. Because once again, your boundaries is for yourself. And if you're dealing with people that can't handle you being private, it's probably someone you don't want to have in your life. Because what do you mean like you're mad I'm not telling you what I got going on? And a lot of these monitoring spirits, guys, like they really want your lives as well. So they'll probably pretend to be you. Sometimes people study you not only to get like your weakness or something, but they're trying to replicate what you are doing within your life. And that's like another way a monitoring spirit can sabotage you. Because if they're studying you and like you have an idea and they steal it before you're able to implement it, it might completely throw you off. But they'll watch you from afar, and once again, it's not going to be said out loud. Some people come into your life not with the intention to connect, but it's only to figure you out. It's only to siphon your style, siphon what you're doing behind the scenes. And once they get said information, they are going to discard you. So you guys got to be very wary when people start getting into like that secret competition with you. It's going to get exhausting, but like I said, like you'd rather... Lady, thank you, thank you. Hey, W Lady in the chat, guys, she is going crazy with the gifts. I know it's going to be exhausting, guys, but you got to kind of just be aware. Because once again, keeping someone in your life that is in secret competition with you is going to end up sliming you out or doing something very weird to you. Because when these monitoring spirits start to figure out that they can't be you, they start to get aggressive. They start attacking you. They start gossiping about you, saying this, saying that. When at first, they were putting you on a pedestal. It's always the same with these demons, guys. They're going to love you in the beginning, like a lot. But when it comes to these groups, these demonic groups, these jobs, these friendships, you got to be able to vet people out and see who you are dealing with. Because if they turn out to be a monitoring spirit and you let them around you, you can literally like lose something. Like it's very weird. Like they'll attach like a parasite to you, and then bad stuff starts happening to you and you're not able to connect that it's because this person is in your life and this is why it's happening. Remember, it's all like an energetic thing. So if a monitoring spirit comes in your life, they attach that energetic cord. You start giving them information. You might wake up the next morning. Lady, thank you, thank you, thank you. This is the first time I've been getting these gifts. W Lady in the chat, guys. But you let a monitoring spirit in your life, you can wake up the next morning and your car probably won't even be there. Your car would have got stolen and you're like, yo, what happened? Then you go to your job, you get fired. You're like, why am I having all this bad luck right now? Pay attention to who you let into your life, like, and think, did my life get better when this individual came in? Or did it get a lot worse because I let this person into my life? And that's why you guys got to be very careful with the people that you date. Sometimes you guys date monitoring spirits, and that can really mess up your life. I get a lot of people in my inbox and even in one-on-ones asking me, can we date NPCs? Can we date people that's in the Matrix? Hey, everyone in here, do you think you can date someone in the Matrix? And this is a personal question. There's not a right or wrong answer. You guys being awakened, do you guys think you can date someone that is still within the Matrix? I want to get everyone's like opinion on that. So it said I had to learn the hard way. No way. No's with the 7 O's. No, 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 no. Now remember, guys, everyone has their own preference, so there's not a right or wrong answer. Me, myself, all I can say is that I can't do it. Like that other person said, I had to learn the hard way. NPC stands for non-playable character. But when you think about it, if you're dating someone that's still in the Matrix, what are you guys going to talk about? You can only really keep the conversation at a surface level. And then remember, people in the matrix, they're empty vessels. So that same person that you let into your life, it's an agent trying to figure you out so they can destroy you. And the crazy part about that is they won't even know they're being used. And that's how we get these honey traps coming into your guys' life and ruining what you guys got going on. You thought you finally found love, but you let an agent into your life, and now things are starting to go wrong for you. Your money's going down. You just got fired from your job. You just lost your car. Bad luck keeps happening to you. You're like, why is this happening to me? Lady, thank you, thank you, thank you. But you start thinking to yourself, like, why is this happening to me? And if you let love blind you guys are going to ignore what your discernment is even trying to show you. Because your discernment lets you know from a long time ago that that person wasn't supposed to be in your life. If you guys let any type of monitoring spirit in your life, the signs was there. The signs was there. But if you guys don't fully love yourselves and you guys let loneliness kind of like steer the ship, you're gonna start ignoring red flags. And if you ignore red flags, that can really kind of mess up your life. Because these people, these monitoring spirits are being used to try to ruin your life. And if you let someone get that close to you and you're opening up and you're giving all your secrets to that person, that can really throw you off. And being in a relationship with the wrong person, that can really shave like a bunch of years like off your path. Because those are the people that like you'll talk to them in a relationship, you will feel like it's a safe space. You will open up and tell them things that you never told anyone before. Jennifer, thank you. And then as soon as you get into an argument, or as soon as you guys break up, they're throwing that stuff right back into your face. Because once again, they were studying you. They were trying to figure out what your weakness is. And you think to yourself, like, no, someone in a relationship with me, there's no way they'll do something like that. Giovanna, thank you, thank you. Hey, both sides, you guys have been going pretty crazy with the gifts. You guys don't have to send me gifts, but I truly do appreciate it. If you guys are on the TikTok side, shoot me a follow. I do go live every single night. You two shoot me a sub. If you guys are on the TikTok side and want to watch this live later, it'll be uploaded to my YouTube. Link in the bio. But yeah, guys, relationship-wise, and not even just that, but like you guys will have family members that you would think to yourself will never do you wrong. The whole time they're being used by the enemy. How many of you guys have had people like a family member side with your enemy, or a relationship partner side with your enemy? Drop ones in the chat. That's how the monitoring spirits be using using people that's close to you guys. Because when that stuff happens to you, that betrayal will hurt a lot. People that you thought was supposed to be there for you through thick and thin, they start choosing the enemy because they end up getting manipulated by not only those people, but the spirits that they have within them. Because when it comes to spiritual warfare, guys, these people want to use the people that's closest to you because they know that's what's going to hurt you the most. People that you've like opened up to, people that you were there for them, giving them advice. And what's really going to trip you out, because when there probably was a situation when it was reversed and that person really needed you to stand up for them and you were there for them. When you're like a light worker, guys, and you guys are walking this path, we rarely get that in return. People are rarely going to defend you. When you start having these groups come up against you, those monitoring spirits will take information they learn from you and take it to the same group that is trying to destroy you. And you're going to be looking at the situation and be thinking to yourself, like, there's no way this is happening right now. Some of you guys had like family members do this, a relationship partner. Remember, if people aren't tapped in, guys, they allow why they do the things that they are doing. So sometimes you're gonna think to yourself, like, well, they didn't know. They got manipulated, this and that. Hey, in spiritual warfare, guys, you guys gotta have that, like, you guys gotta kind of accept things for as they are. Yes, probably they were manipulated, this and that, but at the same time, do you really want to keep someone in your life that is easily manipulated? These are going to be the people that play both sides as well. Monitoring spirits are going to try to keep access to you, but still want to keep access with your enemy that just did you wrong. I don't know about you guys, but that's not someone I want to have in my life. What's your guys' verdict on that? Like, if someone did you wrong, but you have like a friend still being cool with them, what's your guys' verdict on that? Would you still keep them in your life? Would you be like, oh, well, that's not their enemy, this and that? No, 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 nope, nope. Cut both. And once again, these are going to be that weird thing that you're going to try to open up to other people about. And you got to learn, you can't really get matrix advice on these things when you have a spiritual lens. Because some people are going to tell you like, well, they didn't get into it with that person, da da da. But you got to understand, when you got into it with that demon, a lot of times they want to keep access to your friend because they're going to use that friend to try to attack you. When you're not around, you're going to be the topic of discussion, and they're going to try to use that second person to try to get information out of you. And now everything you're telling that person that's playing both sides, they're going right back to that third party and giving them information. And then if you're dealing with some type of narcissist or a warlock, they can use that information to triangulate you guys, to do more smear campaigns on you. So I'm not telling you guys what to do, but in situations like that, I'd rather not have people want to be friends with my enemies. And also, too, like, if they straight up went down the route of like everyone was turning on you and they took that person's side, then yes, I would not want to have that person back into my life. And if you guys are trying to forgive stuff like that, you got to believe people when they show you who they are. Because you might want to forgive them, and if you do, there's a high probability they're going to do something like that again down the line. But one thing I want to talk about on my next slide, guys, is how to protect yourselves like in spiritual warfare. We talked a lot about like monitoring spirits, ignoring them, but there's other different ways you can protect yourselves. And if you guys have some methods that you be using, drop them down in the chat. For people that's coming in here trying to figure this stuff out, you don't have to do every single one of these things, but find stuff that you know you can do on a daily basis and just make sure you protect yourself. Because in the spiritual warfare, guys, like, we're very outnumbered. And if you're not armoring yourself with spiritual armor every single day, you're going to get obliterated. And I know I'm about to get this question a lot, but RTS is return to sender. And I will be talking about that. But what we got in the chat, we got someone saying pray, meditate daily. Right, beautiful. Do alchemy and duality, amazing. Irene, appreciate the follow, appreciate the heart me. Protection braids, ooh, elite ball knowledge. High vibration music, Psalms, alchemy. But yeah, you guys are in this chat and you guys have been figuring this stuff out along the way. And doing those things has protected you, even if you haven't been able to see exactly how it was protecting you. Now, these things I put on a list are some of my favorite things I like to do to protect myself. Number 1, celibacy, SR. For you guys that's probably asking what SR is, it's just a fancy way that guys say being celibate. But when you are being celibate, guys, that is a very powerful way to protect yourselves. Because understand this, guys, if you guys are light workers and you're in this chat, you guys are divinely protected. Now, what divinely protected pretty much means is we all got a rank in the spiritual realm. You guys have passed certain tests along the way. You guys didn't choose the side of evil. Even though a lot of you guys, if any of you guys in this chat just went evil, all I'm saying is no one will blame you because of all the trauma you went through throughout your life. If I took out the little paper of all the trauma you went through, I'd be like, how didn't this person go evil? But because you guys never let that stuff get to you, you never lost yourself, you kept going up ranks in the spiritual realm. And then you hit this divine protection where now if someone does something to you, they will get their karma really fast. And the karma is going to be very severe what's going to happen to these individuals. And celibacy just takes that to a whole nother level. It gives you this protection around you where a lot of demons are going to sense it as well and not even want to mess with you. But at the same time, you're going to have very hard-headed individuals out there. And you guys know exactly who I'm talking about. Because some demons, because you hit the celebrity aura, you're going to start to have a reputation for yourself in the spiritual realm. And a lot of these demons are going to try to make an example out of you. Because if they're able to take you down, when a lot of these other demons weren't able to take you down, they get a lot of pleasure out of that to satisfy their egos. But once again, when you're celibate, you just have this aura that protects you. It also makes you a whole lot more confident. Your creative energy goes through the roof. All these things are adding onto your aura, and the bigger your aura, the bigger the protection. A lot of you guys that's in this chat, you guys are celibate. And because you guys are celibate, that's how you found me. Not saying that's the main thing you guys are doing. But if you guys are doing high vibrational things, you start to get into alignment with me. And then these type of videos start popping up on your feed. These type of lives. And how I'm speaking, you guys can understand what I'm talking about because we're on the same frequency. We're speaking a whole different language, guys. If we went out there and we spoke about these things, people will look at us like we're crazy. If you even went out there and said you're celibate, you'll probably get some weird looks. I know a lot of guys get it a lot more because guys are a lot more lustful. People don't even believe me that I'm celibate. I stopped telling people a long time ago. No one in 3D really believes me. Only people that's on here on social media. You guys are the only ones I be telling that I am celibate. But yeah, we get into this whole different frequency where we're speaking a whole different language. But the higher up you vibe, the more protected you're going to be on this journey. Now, also your spiritual gifts. You guys are blessed with these spiritual gifts. Make sure you use them. That's something I really kind of want to drill into you guys and make sure yo, look, if you guys are seeing these things and you guys ignore it, you guys got to take that L. That means you didn't learn something. That means you're not trusting yourself in some type of way. If you guys got blessed with your spiritual gifts, you guys went through your trials and tribulations. W's in the chat. You guys went through some very hard things to get these gifts. And if you guys went to hell and back to get these gifts and you still ignore, come on now. Come on now. If you guys have a dream and someone's telling you that that person is evil, it's time to get away. If you guys have a dream and it's telling you that someone is cheating on you, I would listen to that dream. But what these warlocks and these monitoring spirits are going to do, they're going to try to manipulate you guys to make you guys not want to trust your gifts. And I get it. Sometimes it's going to be hard, especially when you feel like the person in your life is someone that doesn't want to do any harm to you. How I ground myself in that belief is understanding that they're being used. The vessel doesn't even know what's going on. For example, I used to have this friend in my life who was a warlock. I didn't know he was a warlock. He had a spiritual girlfriend. This girl kept like dreaming that he was cheating on her. He was definitely cheating on her, but he kept gaslighting her. But because they're in a relationship, because they're in a soul tie with each other, he will keep telling her that, "Oh, I'm not cheating on her. I'm not cheating on you. I'm not cheating on you." Whole time, her dreams kept letting her know what was going on. And eventually she stopped ignoring said dreams, ignoring her intuition, and she was able to just walk away. You guys got to be able to trust yourselves. You guys are very powerful people. This stuff is put into place because so much people are operating behind the veil. So many people are operating within the darkness. And I say this all the time. If it wasn't for spiritual gifts, I wouldn't have came down here at all. For some of you guys that don't know, this is my knowing. We signed a spiritual contract, a soul contract to come down here to help with the spiritual war. If we didn't have spiritual gifts, I wouldn't have came down here. I'm sorry, guys. Even if we were outnumbered, I'm like, yo, I'm not going down to that. Because when there's only 10% of us, and when there's 10% of people that's awakened, everyone that's awakened isn't a good person. So there's more like 5% of us. If there's 5% of us going up against 95% of individuals, we needed something to kind of even the score. And our spiritual gifts is what evens that score. Now, what are some of these spiritual gifts? The one that everyone kind of knows by now is the gift of discernment. If you guys have the gift of discernment, drop ones down in the chat. A gift of discernment is a gift of knowing. You guys just know things. People can no longer lie to you. You just know that they're not telling the truth. You don't even know how you know some things sometimes. Sometimes people aren't even on your radar and they start saying something. You're like, oh, that person's like a warlock, or that person's manipulating, or that person's a narcissist. Your gift of discernment is going to make you early. A lot of people are going to say you're wrong. A lot of people are going to say you're crazy. But when you're a seer with the gift of discernment, 90% of the time, you're not wrong. You're just early. And that's why you learn to kind of keep your gifts to yourself. The example I just brought up with my ex-friend that had the girlfriend that was dreaming that he was cheating on him with. If she just kept that to herself, had the dream and walked out, there would have been no issue. But because she opened up to the enemy, what the enemy is first going to do, guys, is just gaslight you. All of us in here, we got to deal with gaslighting every single day. We're in a matrix where it's kind of built on lies and illusions. So without you even knowing, it's like you open up your phone's trying to gaslight you. You talk to your family, they're trying to gaslight you. Sometimes you'll think things are like common knowledge and like you'll open up about it. And then people will give you like a look like, what? Why are you thinking that? Your gift's going to make you seem crazy, guys. So you guys got to keep it to yourself. Right now, we have monitoring spirits that's in this chat right now. They infiltrate all these spaces. And to them, if we talk about spiritual gifts, they don't want to believe we actually have it. And if we know a certain thing, they're going to put like some evil thing on it. If you guys are able to like call out a demon beforehand, they're going to say you're a demon because they don't believe in like good stuff. They don't believe in God. They don't believe in gift of discernment. If a manipulator is trying to manipulate you and you use your discernment to protect you, now they're going to say you're the manipulator. You're the narcissist. Stop. You're hurting me. Because in this spiritual warfare, guys, people want to be weird in peace. People want to be demonic. They want to manipulate and not allow people to see them. And if they could sense that you see them, they're not going to be like, oh, you had the gift of discernment. You went through trials and tribulations. That's how you unlocked it. Nah, they're going to say you're evil. So many of you guys are getting villainized right now because you're able to see beyond the veil. If right now in this point in time, guys, you guys are a villain in someone's delusional story out there, drop ones in the chat. And hopefully if you guys are in here, you guys are on the side of understanding that you're not the issue. For the new people in the chat, you guys are probably in psychosis right now. It's like, that's what's going on. Understand that, like, yes, don't let these people manipulate you to not use your gifts. You guys can see, you just got to trust yourself. But when you go through life for a very long time and you have people gaslighting you your whole life, it's going to be hard to get onto that side. For a lot of us, when we start awakening, we didn't even want to believe the Matrix was a thing. We started awakening and we're like, no, I'm crazy. I'm not seeing this. This is not real. Some days you will believe it, and other days you would just tell yourself like you're crazy. But then somewhere along the line, you guys start trusting yourselves. You guys start being like, you know what? I am seeing things the right way. And what helped was you guys finding other people online that was thinking the same way. But just as you guys was questioning if the Matrix was a real thing, that's what you're going to question in other people. And it's very hard to like, because I know a lot of you guys too, you don't want to seem egotistical. You don't want to like think to yourself, like that's very hard for you to accept that you're seeing it for as it is. You're like, nah, if a majority of people are saying this, then nah, it's not right. I can't be seeing that. Nah, hey, you guys are one of the few. The 5%. Hey, people in the chat, drop the Y and A's. 5%. Putting that in perspective, guys, you guys are like a big anomaly. And you guys have to accept what you are seeing. Because not only will you have the gift of discernment, you're going to get messages in other ways as well. We also talked about clairvoyancy. You will see things within your dreams. If you have a dream where someone is trying to, can't say that word here on TikTok. If you have a dream someone trying to do this to you, get away from that person immediately. If you have a dream someone in the dream is like around snakes or they're doing witchcraft or something like that, it is time to get away from that individual. Because a lot of these people are talking behind your back, gossiping about you, having you in group chats, and they think to themselves they're never going to get caught. Sometimes your spiritual gift is God like literally showing you something, that like you wouldn't have seen otherwise. Something just popped up in your face and it just exposed that person for who they are. And once again, guys, your spiritual gifts is going to have a lot of people paranoid. They're going to think you're a spy. It's just them projecting themselves onto you. Or they're going to think they have a traitor within the group. Your spiritual gifts is going to break up a lot of groups out there. Because when you have your divine protection and a group tries to like attack you or something, they have like 30 seconds before they like break up or something. You guys broke up many boy bands out there. The boy band had like a dream of being the biggest band in the world. And then they met you and you just ruined that whole dream they had got going on. But if they were a good people, that stuff wouldn't have happened. But a lot of people want to target you for like no reason at all. They just see you smiling from a distance, living your life, and that just pisses them off. So they got to target you and they got to find out you're not the one to be played with. Because people, they don't know you know more than like, they think you're dumb. Like they think you're naive. And a lot of you guys play into that because it allows you to protect yourself and maneuver yourself. But you got to realize like you're not wearing a shirt that says like gift of discernment, clairvoyancy, this and that, God's strongest soldier. You're just walking out there, you're just blending in. And if you guys don't talk a lot, they just don't think you know anything. Whole time, you guys got like an armory. Like you guys had the discernment. You guys are getting dreams. You guys have God talking to you. You guys have pattern recognition. A lot of you guys in here should be working for the FBI because your guys' detective skills are like out of 10. Your guys' ability to break stuff down with like one minute piece of detail, that is an underrated skill. All they got to do is slip up one time. Like you're probably not even thinking about somebody. You're just in your head. You're thinking of a song. You're just like chilling, vibing. They say something. You just start that's so Raven mode. You just start thinking. start breaking stuff down. You're like, oh, dad, this whole group's against me. All they said is like, do you want to hang out at 8 p.m. tonight? You just broke down the whole operation. Because your pattern recognition is kind of weird. Like sometimes you'll have like a bad memory, but when your pattern recognition kicks in, like you'll remember something they said like 5 months ago. And you will know that it doesn't line up with what they just said right now. And that will like let you know like, oh, you got a liar in your midst. And it's like at the random moments. It's not like this is like a controlled ability. It just kicks on randomly. And once again, like while all this stuff is happening, while you guys are all breaking this stuff down in your head, they're thinking like they're just looking at you, just have like a straight face. Because you guys don't react to the things you guys be seeing. You just be like in your head like, oh, this is a demon. And they be thinking to themselves like, oh, we got away with it. We got them under our evil plan. Let's enact the next step of the plan. And before they can enact the next step, you guys are out of there. You guys cut people off like very fast. You're like, I don't know what you guys got planned, but like I'm out of here. And then at that point, people are going to start thinking to themselves like, did someone tell you what happened? And then cue into monitoring spirits again, guys, because what they're going to do, they're going to send someone your way to try to figure out like what happened, try to get information out of you. And you guys have to learn to not open your mouth or talk to anybody, because if you do, they're going to take that information right back to them and try to ruin your life. I'm going to get to fasting right now, but I know a lot of people are asking about the RTS. But guys, RTS, people in the chat, what does it stand for? If my mods can pin it, I'd really appreciate it. RTS, what does it stand for? 904 Jackson, appreciate the follow. 900 people in here, appreciate the support, guys. You guys are amazing. Thank you for giving me a platform. Shoot me a follow. I go live every single night, 9 p.m. Pacific. If you want to watch this stream afterwards, subscribe to my YouTube. Link is in the bio. I also do one-on-ones. Link in the bio. But RTS, return to sender. When it comes to these demons, guys, they will send send energetic attacks your way. And when they send energetic attacks your way, you have one of three options. The first one, you can succumb to that energetic attack. So when they attack you, like, what's the attack I could think of? Like if someone tries to humble you, if someone comes up to you, like, you're ugly. And you start thinking, am I ugly? Oh my God, they said that, da da da. That's you succumbing to the energy. You let the energy kind of like manifest like and manipulate your thoughts. But two, you can do a return to sender, and that is just ignoring people. Ignoring people, guys, is going to be a very strong thing to do in spiritual warfare. One of your strongest things you can do. Because for someone to attack you, they got to attach that energetic cord onto you. We all got a solar plexus right here. For an energy vampire to come and attack you and make it affect you, that energetic cord has to be attached to you and other person. And the thing about that is they can't attach that cord without your permission. If someone comes up to you and calls you ugly, you allow them to come in. You allow that energy vampire to come into your space and affect you. When you understand that this reality is all projection and people, these accusations, it has nothing to do with you. Some of you guys might not understand that, but keep in mind, a healthy person is not going to attack you. Yes, I get negative comments in the chat, but for the large part, my community, when I compare my chats to like other people's chats, I don't get that many hate comments as other people because I'm like a high vibrational content creator that attracts other high vibrational content creators. And you guys aren't spending your time in here attacking me. We're just vibing out. But when it comes to like low vibrational people, they need to attack you because they're like depressed or something. They're like going through it. They need to siphon that energy somehow. Because once you give that reaction to other people, to that person, like if they say, "Hey, you're ugly," and you're like, "Oh my God, am I ugly?" They get happy on the That's like a very weird thing, and that's something I will never understand as an empath, and I'm pretty sure you guys don't understand as well, because we don't take joy in other people's misery. They get excited. They start jumping up and down. If they're able to get some type of reaction out of you, they feel like they won the day. They feel like they made it. Because once again, guys, if you're high vibrational, you got to treat your energy as a gold mine. They want that energy because it makes them just feel happy and giddy on the inside. But if you're able to ignore people and do a return to sender, the same emotion they try to invoke out of you is going to bounce right off of you and go back to the other person. How many of you guys ever saw someone malfunction when you ignored them? Hey, W Michelle in the chat, thank you. You've been helping me out all stream. I appreciate it. But yeah, guys, when you ignore a narcissist, that's you doing a return to sender. And they start malfunctioning. When you first start seeing that happen, you're like, what is going on? They start like spazzing out, shaking. They start screaming. They start crashing out. You're like, yo. And the thing about this too is like, you really can't get mad. Like you can't really be like, oh my, I'm sorry, da da da. That's their own energy. For people, if they didn't attack you, they wouldn't have had to deal with that stuff. That's why a lot of people, they start to figure out like you're the wrong person to mess with, because not a lot of people have this information. They're so used to getting away with the stuff that they are doing. They're out there manipulating people, making them feel insecure, bullying them. And then when they come across you, you passed this test a long time ago. For you guys to understand this stuff, we have to go through the trenches to understand this stuff. A lot of you guys was born in family systems where they were bullying you from a kid. You had to learn how to ignore this stuff from like a young age. 8, 9, 10, having to deal with families trying to bully you. So if you're able to pass those lessons as a kid, what does it look like for a rage baiter like present day to like really get some type of reaction out of you? And that's why you guys got to thank your childhood, because for as bad as, well, I don't even want to call it a childhood. Whatever that was, you got to thank that you even went through that, because that was able to give you guys the protection for present day to not let this stuff really affect you. Because there's other people out there, if they were in your position and dealing with what you were dealing, they would have broke a long time ago. A lot of people want to judge your life, but if they were to walk into your shoes, they would have crumbled like from like day one. They don't know exactly what you be going through on a day-to-day basis, and you be battling stuff you don't even be speaking out loud. And to all you guys is battling those silent battles, hey, positive energy. Everyone put Y and A's in the chat. You guys are very strong people, and I admire you guys for that. Because a lot of people, they go through this stuff and they just go evil. They just gave up like from a young age. These demons are trying to convert people to the other side. They've been trying to convert you for a long time, and they can't figure out why they haven't been able to convert you when they threw everything they could at you. They threw the demonic family at you. You still stayed sane. They had people cheating on you. You didn't let that change you. Friends backstabbing you, false allegations, people lying on you, bullying you, jumping you, and you still go out there with a smile. Like, it is what it is. We'll figure it out. But then when you look at a lot of other people in your life, you've been seeing them morph into a bad person over time, because they go through their stuff and they're not able to figure it out. You guys probably have a friend or like a family member out there. They got cheated on one time and they gave up. It's a wrap. Now they're out there terrorizing the community. Now they're out there like, if a guy got cheated on, they're terrorizing women. If a girl got cheated on, terrorizing men. But you guys are like, you know what? Hey, I'm gonna figure this stuff out. And that's why they hate you guys for it. Your ability to alchemize this energy, ignore the BS out there, has a lot of these demons looking at you like, yo, like, what is it gonna take to get this person to convert? And honestly, like, you guys are never going to convert. It's just how you are as a person. Maybe at one point in your life, you're like, you know what? If you can't beat them, join them, because you know I have discernment. If I was to play the game these people were playing, I could play it a whole lot better. But then when you did play that game, probably that one time, you felt bad. You felt horrible. You're like, yo, people are doing this? Like, yo, this is horrible. You guys can't be fake. You guys can't manipulate. You guys can't do any of that stuff. It's just not in you. While other people are out there, they love doing it. When people are able to manipulate and people aren't able to see what they're doing, they get very happy on the inside. They start jumping up and down. People are like studying manipulation videos, reading manipulation tactics. And when they're able to do that on another person, they get very excited. And they start doing it to enough people, they start to think they're gods, and they start to think that they can control anybody. But when you guys are using your spiritual gifts, all of that stuff is like very obvious. You got someone out there, they think they're like a level 100 warlock, a high level warlock. When in reality, when you see that stuff, you're like, yo, this is very obvious. You guys actually get insulted if someone tries to manipulate you like that, because you be thinking like, yo, these are elementary tactics. And sometimes you think like, are they being serious, or like, are you playing? Nah, some people, they really think that they can get one over on you, because those same tactics has worked on other people a whole lot of other times. We have to let people be where they want to be and let them go. Facts. But guys, fasting is going to be another powerful way to protect yourselves against these demons as well. Fasting is very powerful if you're in a fasted state. Me talking about discernment, being in a fasted state, you'll be able to see these things like a lot easier. Yes, we all have discernment in here. Fasting will take that to a whole nother level. And like I said earlier too, with the whole celibacy thing of making your aura bigger, fasting will do the same thing as well. And the bigger your aura, the more these demons are not really going to want to mess with you. Yes, there's always going to be that outlier. There's always going to be that one demon that's very, very brave. And no matter what protection you have going for you guys, they're still going to try to attack you. You guys are going to get to a certain level, like where your divine protection is going to be so strong that you're going to feel like when people attack you, you're going to start feeling bad for them, because you're going to know once they attack you, like, oh, they're about to ruin their life or something. And then also understand that if someone is attacking you and like your frequency is very high, you're divinely protected, every time someone attacks you, God is like alchemizing that energy for you. And every attack is going to elevate you while they're going into a descent. So they attack you, they get their karma, they go down, and you go up. But these demons, they do have a chance to change, because karma is not a vindictive thing. So if a demon gets their karma, they can learn from that and start elevating from it. But I will say that's a very rare thing to see. Unbothered Empress, amazing name. Thank you. It's very rare where like you have a demon get their karma and they're like, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't have done that. Let me go learn. Let me go do my shadow work. It's possible, but you rarely see that happen out there. Some of these demons, guys, you're going to meet are very hard-headed, where they'll attack you. They'll get their karma. They might think for a split second, I shouldn't have done that. But then once again, go back to their ego and then double down on their attacks to attack you. You guys probably had that one person out there. I know you guys are at the point of you don't explain yourself. because you know when you explain yourself, you're just going to get people gaslighting you. But you guys probably had that one time where you saw a demon doing what they were doing and you tried to have that conversation with them. And in that conversation, they really played the role of like, oh, they understand. They're going to stop doing it. And you walked away from that conversation like, oh, you know what? That was amazing. We should have more of those conversations. Just to have them double down on whatever they were doing. Yo, people are crazy out here. Like, you saw what they were doing. You called it out. You had proof. You had the conversation with them. And they go double down on it. Because remember, in this spiritual warfare, in this Truman Show, in these Hunger Games that we are playing out there, everyone is playing these power games. And one rule of these power games is you can't talk about it. And that's why you guys are hated in society. Because even though you might not talk about it, your energy exposes the game. And that makes you a target. And they're going to want to double down on what they're doing to you to make an example out of you. Sometimes you'll explain yourself to somebody and they'll just think to themselves like, oh, I got to get more deceptive. I got to come up with like a stronger tactic. When in reality, if you saw what they were doing for like the first attack, you might not know every single tactic people are doing. You might not know every single manipulation tactic, but you don't need to because it's all an energy thing. You might not know the tactic, but like when they start being weird, it's like you can feel it. As soon as someone starts being weird with you, like you feel the energy, and then your pattern recognition, you might not know it right there, but give yourself like 5 hours, 24 hours, you'll figure out exactly what they're doing. Because not only do you guys have pattern recognition, discernment, you guys are also really curious people. You guys are always trying to figure out like, what are they doing? What's going on? Someone does something to you, you're researching immediately. And that's why a lot of these demons, they don't like you guys because you guys like learn way too fast. They might get you. They might get you like, hey, I haven't seen this type of tactic before. Give you like 5 hours. You're going to figure it out. Like, oh, that's what they're doing. You might come into this live. Someone might be talking about it in the comments. Because also, too, God reveals things to you in very unorthodox ways. When the information is ready to present itself, someone might do something to you, and as soon as you get on TikTok, as soon as you get on YouTube, someone's breaking it down, like just breaking the whole thing down. And that's what the collective does. It's like we're all in alignment, and we're all helping out each other, whether we know it or not. Because whatever you're going through, someone just went through the same exact thing. And they're thinking the same thing. And the person that's probably making that video, they just probably went through the same thing themselves. And they're like, yo, let's put it out there so we can see what's going on. They're all running the same rule book. They're all doing the same little narcissistic games. And that's why when they do something, you have like a bunch of people around the world like, they did that to you too? Everyone is going through this stuff? And that's why you got to trust yourself when you feel that weird energy, because once you're able to trust that, you'll be able to get away from it very fast. But just as I say, you can let the energy succumb to the energy, or you can ignore it and do a return to sender. That third thing you can do, you had people in the chat asking RTS, that stands for return to sender. But the third thing you can do, you can alchemize the energy. Just as I said, you can have people like me or anyone else, they'll make a video on the topic. That is alchemizing the energy. Me doing lives like this where I'm breaking down what people are doing, that's alchemizing the energy. Alchemizing is just taking the negative energy and turning it into a positive, guys. You guys don't have to do videos. Whatever your passion is, whatever people do to you, like, no energy is bad. Energy can't be created nor destroyed. So if someone wants to send you a negative energetic attack, you can take said energy, you can go to the gym with it, have the best workout you've ever had. If you guys make music, someone just cheated on you, you can go make the best love song ever and really pull from that pain. So if anyone's doing stuff to you, like, you can use your enemies as your footstool. Max, appreciate it. You can use your enemies as your footstool, and that's why a lot of people are going to be mad that they even came across you. Because when these demons attack you guys, they sign these demonic contracts, and they're promised to get something if they're able to succeed with attacking you. So when they attack you and it didn't have the desired result, and not only did it not have the desired result, you were able to use it to elevate. They went down, they start getting karma, because if someone messes with you, they don't get no normal karma. When people mess with you, they start losing their jobs, they go broke, they go homeless. So these demons get very upset because this wasn't what was supposed to happen. But these demons also operate out of ego. So another thing they're going to do is, once it doesn't have the desired effect, they're going to make you the problem. And I laugh, guys, because this is the world that we live in. You yourself know that you're dealing with a lot of delusional people out there. And when you see that you're dealing with delusional people, you got to learn to just disconnect from them and not let them affect your mental. Because a lot of these demons are going to want reparations from you. They're going to want you to pay them for what was promised them, when the whole time you was just minding your business dealing with that individual. And now they got to watch you elevate, and they're down in darkness, and that's not what was supposed to happen. And you guys got to be careful of that as well, because some demons are going to be able to accept you doing that, like you leaving them behind in a previous timeline. Some demons, they're going to be so egotistical that they're not going to be able to accept that. And if they're not able to accept that, and they want that reparations from you, those are the people that become stalkers for a very long time, if for life. I've only been awakened for 3 years, guys, so I can only speak from my awareness. I haven't been awakened for 10 years. I had the same stalker for 10 years. Maybe some of you guys can let me know if that's a thing, but I don't know how long this stalker. Okay, yeah. So I'm telling you, some of these people will latch onto you for a very long time. 15, 5 years, 17 years, 7 years. So once again, I'm saying these individuals get very obsessive. Their ego is not going to allow them to accept you walking away. But once again, you guys are not alone. There's other people dealing with these same things out there. And you want to know how delusional these stalkers are, guys? Some people, they're able, because when it comes to narcs and when it comes to demons, they live in a delusional reality. They have to kind of curate a reality where they don't have to face the truth. So they will do all this demonic stuff on you, and they will say you're doing it. So some of you guys might have a stalker out there. They'll say you're the one stalking them. Some of you guys might have a narcissist out there. They'll say you're the narcissist. The monitoring spirit will say you're the spy. And all of that stuff is confusing if you're putting them on the same level. But if you're able to use your discernment and know you're dealing with some demonic people, that stuff shouldn't affect you. Someone say I had the same stalker for 25 years. And any of you guys that's been dealing with the stalker for a very long time, sending positive energy, this stuff is very hard to go through, especially when you can't really open up to other people about it, because they'll think you're over exaggerating. They'll think you're crazy. They'll think you're conceited. You think everyone's stalking you, when this is your life. You've been dealing with this stuff for a very long time. And the scary part about it is you guys are aware to it now. And this stuff was happening to you before you was even aware. So how many people were stalking you when you didn't even know this stuff was going on? Because stalkers, they know how to pretend and make it look like they're not a stalker. There's some people, when you first met them, you thought that was a first meeting. They first met you, you first met them. Some people be watching you from a distance, and they be thinking to themselves about how can I approach this person? They be studying your personality, what you like, what you dislike. And then you're having a conversation with them and you're like, oh, we're the same. We're checking off all the right boxes. That's because they're not giving you their real personalities. The world is a stage. They just became a whole different character to be able to get you to be their friend, to be in a relationship. And that's why when that mask drops from that demon, that's like one of the trippiest things to ever see. Because when that mask drops, you're going to be like, yo, who is this person right now? But that's who they were all along. And who you fell in love with, who you decide to make your friend, was just an illusion. And that's why it's like a very confusing thing to go through. Because one thing you're going to think about is, who can pretend for that long? Who can play this character for that long of a time? Because when you guys ever have to like play some type of character, because sometimes you do got to mask yourself to go out there in the matrix. You got to work your 9 to 5. You got to go to a family gathering. Someone stops you in the street to have like some unskippable cutscene. And you got to mask yourselves. And anytime you got to do that, that's a very exhausting thing to do. You're like, I got to go home. I got to isolate for another week or two. But when they do it, that's just like, they can do it. Like, they've learned to do it for such a long time that it's just second nature to them. But when it comes to your discernment, you're going to be able to see it. And when you get that first red flag, I'm not saying to cut everyone off at the first red flag. Now, some of you guys in here will definitely do that. You guys run very strict programs. But what I'm going to say is, if you see that red flag, put it in the back of your head and use your pattern recognition. And if you see it again, then maybe it's time to get out of there. Suvi, appreciate the gift. Thank you. But the last thing to do to protect your guys in spiritual warfare, it's an unskippable cutscene, is keeping your vibration high. Remember, guys, in spiritual warfare, it's designed to lower your frequency. It's designed to put you in a depressed state, make you mad, make you angry, make you feel some type of lower vibrational energy. If while these attacks are hitting you guys, and you guys are able to keep your vibration high, that is going to be what's going to protect yourself. And I'm not going to give you like an exact list you got to follow. Everyone is different. Adri, happy birthday. Everyone say happy birthday, Adri, in the comments. But I'm not going to give you guys like a specific thing to do. Everyone has their thing that they like to do. Appreciate the heart, me. Like me, for example, I like to go to the gym. I like to meditate. I like to journal. So if you ever have someone that's like attacking you and doing something to you, and you see that your thoughts are getting into a negative way, go do something high vibrational. And when you do that high vibrational activity, that's going to be your portal to keep you on the timeline that you're supposed to be in. Because in spiritual warfare, it's designed to manipulate your thoughts. Your thoughts create your reality alongside with your energy and your frequency. So if they get you in a negative way of thinking, you're going to start manifesting more bad into your reality. And you're going to hop into a portal where you got to start battling even more demonic things. But if something happens to you and you go to the gym and you're feeling a lot better, then you stay on your highest timeline. So you guys in the chat, what are some high vibrational things you guys like to do? And to the people in here that's trying to keep their vibration high, just pick something that these people are putting in here and just add it to your regimen. And whenever you're going through it, I know it might be hard to get yourself to do it, but understand that by doing it, it's going to make you feel a whole lot better. And Michelle, you can pin any one of those so people can see, and you can cycle it through as well. Someone said dance is always an underrated one. Journal, time to yourself, amazing. Skating and reading. What's the YouTube side saying? Eddie says workout, ride his bike, amazing. Well, you guys are going fast. Don says music therapy, journaling, meditation, amazing. Donna says Bible reading, beautiful. Zen says pray. Losing it says good food, water, calm. So tap into those things, guys. Billy M says sing, listen to music, yoga, meditation, nice walks, work out. There you go. One underrated thing I want to say as well, guys, is gratitude. Gratitude is going to be very powerful in this reality. If while you're going through the attacks, if you're able to find ways to be grateful while you're going through the attacks, you're going to be very dangerous in the spiritual warfare. If someone is doing something bad to you, get a gratitude journal. You can write in there and put, like, I'm grateful for these attacks because it's going to make me wiser. You know that you're going to get a blessing by kind of like persevering towards it. Because a lot of you guys be blocking your blessings or blocking yourself from getting to that next timeline because you start to get in a very negative way of thinking when you start going through it. But you also got to see that where you're currently at in your life, you probably prayed to be in this exact spot. You probably was manifesting this exact moment right now. But if you're constantly in the mindset of like, I need to get more, I need to get more and more and more and more and more, and you're constantly in a state of chasing, how is God going to bless you with that next thing if you're not grateful for your current reality? And you're not going to be happy because you're never going to be happy with the present moment. So gratitude is very powerful. But that was the last point on the list, guys. I'm going to chill and relax with you guys for a bit. If you guys got any questions, now is the time to ask. Once again, thank you guys for the support. I don't want to ever be one of those creators that never shows my gratitude, just as I just said. So thank you guys for giving me a platform. You don't have to be here. It is Friday night, and you guys chose to spend it with me. So thank you. But yeah, if you're in the TikTok side, shoot me a follow. I go live every single night. Also, subscribe to my YouTube. Link is going to be in my bio. But this has been a pretty cool stream. A lot of you guys popped out, so thank you. I'm going to be live again tomorrow at 9 p.m. We could probably talk about honey trap, succubus. I'm going to see. Damn, homie, every night I'm on that grind. I normally go for like 4 days straight, and I take a little break. Which one? Can I please ask if one has never fasted, how should you start to do so properly? That is a very good question. When it comes to fasting, you want to start slow and then work your way up to it. The first time I tried to fast, I tried to go for 24 hours. That was a disaster. So I told myself that the next day, I'm going to eat my first meal at like noon. And then every day after that, I added an hour to it until like I was able to get 24 hours. I'm dealing with the Dark Warlocks currently. Hey, ignore. Return to sender. That's the thing about Warlocks, Narcs, and people that attack you. It's like they only have themselves to blame now for what is to come. Because if they just left you alone, they would have been cool. But also understand that God uses you guys as bait. You guys probably don't even know this stuff is happening. In the spiritual realm, you're getting assignments. Just as like the demons are getting demonic assignments, you get assignments to go around certain individuals, certain groups. Because when you go around those groups, you expose. You expose that leader of the group. You dismantle that coven, dismantle that group. And by you doing that, you made the world a better place. Because before you came up to those individuals, they was on a streak of like bullying people, tormenting individuals. And then that just didn't work when it came to you. Having dreams of people having sex with you, that's a spiritual attack. These demons can get your sexual energy like in the dream realm. So if you're having those dreams, I suggest going to sleep in the fastest state. Succubus, incubus. What about dreams of world ending? When it comes to dream interpretation, the best thing you can do is go within. I don't recommend going to other people like online to figure out what this meant because everyone's mind thinks differently. Sometimes your higher self can give you a message only you can decipher. I can have that same dream. You can have that same dream. To me, it could have meant something else. To you, could have meant a whole different thing. Should we write our dreams down? Yeah, definitely. Because that will help you remember it a lot more. Any of you guys been having like vivid dreams lately? My dreams have been like so weird, like for like the past like 2 weeks actually. Couple days ago, like I dreamt that I was like riding a whale, like a dolphin. I'm still trying to figure out what that meant. That was like a very weird dream. Yeah, I'm probably gonna make a video about like the vivid dreams. Like, all right. Cause also too, like every time I get up in the morning, I kind of just lie there. Sometimes I'll journal about what I dreamt about. That dream, I was just lying down. I'm like, why would I dream about that? You're the celibate one. Love that. Someone told me some. Wait, I'm not even gonna say that on live. Someone has given me like what they think all these vivid dreams are meaning. I don't want to say that on social media. I don't know, like some things I really can't say on here, but someone thinks. I just forget I said that. I gotta like be media trained when I talk on TikTok. Yeah, I've been hearing a lot about CERN. I gotta look into that though. I don't have the much knowledge about it. SR equivalent for women. That's why I always put it next to celibacy. You guys get benefits as well when you're on it. Knowledge is definitely power. It's gonna protect you against a lot of these things that you are experiencing. When I first awakened, I used to think that ignorance was bliss. And I used to think that why did I do this to myself? But then when you understand that when you're unawakened, like you're still battling these things. Like just because your family members and friends aren't awakened doesn't mean that they're not in spiritual warfare. Like a large reason why they're going through the things that they're going through is because they're in warfare. You might get attacked a lot more because you're awakened and you are on your highest path, but they're still getting attacked. And that's what's keeping them in their darkness. What's up, Michelle? How are you? Uh Zentao, thank you. Can you explain how do they get out of their darkness? It's the same for everybody. They do their shadow work, they learn, they face the truth. They'll be able to get themselves out of it. But a lot of people, they're not capable of doing it, but do understand that we got to be empathetic towards them because this matrix is set up where it's very hard to awaken. For a lot of you guys, you had to go through like very like traumatic things to awaken. At least that was my story. If I didn't go through the traumatic stuff, I wouldn't have awakened, to be honest. Went through hell. Yeah, you got to lose a lot of stuff. For some of us, like you lose, man. You're like, why is this happening? Can I unawaken? Like life is so like funny because now I'm on this side talking about spiritual warfare, like leading people to awaken. When I first awakened, I spent a first 3 months like researching how do I turn this stuff off. 'Cause I'm like, I do not want this. This is horrible. I'm way too honest with you guys. I gotta like keep some stuff to myself. As a spiritual teacher, I gotta like talk like how everyone else is talking on here. My awakening was beautiful. I I always knew I was gonna be this way. Yeah, I'm gonna start saying that. I be in here like, why did I come down here? We're outnumbered. I'm gonna work on it, guys. I'm gonna work on it. Who woke you up? My experiences. Had a narcissistic relationship. And in that year, I just lost everything. My place, my car, my job, family. I was in the shadow realm for like a year. And then as soon as I got out of there, I didn't know that you can like awaken a second time. And I went right back to the shadow realm. So 2023 and 2024, I was just fighting every single day. Every day was something new. Cause I wish like life was like a real life TV show. You know how like when you have like a sitcom, the episode is like a plot. Like you got the problem, you figure out the problem, then you get the ending, happy ending. In life, especially spiritual warfare, you get one problem, and before you can try to figure that out, you got three more problems that hit you out of nowhere. You're like, all right, which one do I deal with? Then five more. I'm like, yo, this is a lot. At a certain point, I'm just gonna stay in my room. I thought if I just stayed under my covers, that like the problems will go away. But eventually, you got to get out that bed. Yeah, it's definitely the Truman Show. Can you explain light worker? Yeah, there's people on this planet that's here to help raise the vibration of the planet. And it's not like we're doing specific things. It's like some people that vibrate very high, you will notice that like they will talk to somebody and just one conversation with them has the other person feeling very happy. They were probably depressed, but now they're like, I can do it, this and that. That energy helps raise the vibration of the planet. Some people, their mission goes a little bit deeper, where some people, they can help awaken and heal people through videos. Some light workers are famous musicians that can reach their other people with their talents. Like I have a knowing that Michael Jackson was a light worker, just off of like his vibration, how he operated, and how he dealt with a lot of things that we deal with as well. Love you too, Smurf. I'm a living mirror. Yeah, it's annoying sometimes, like reflecting things back to people that they don't want to work on. I can't be on autopilot with people. I gotta kind of tell myself, like, yo, okay, like someone comes up to me and starts talking, I gotta tell myself, like, don't go deep, don't be too like open. You gotta kind of just keep it surface level, like with people in the matrix. Because with some people, you can just like ask the wrong question, and now you got a target on your back with those people. That's why when I was unawakened, I was a lot more open. I could talk a lot more freely and not have to really worry. Now I'm like, nah, like, because a lot of stuff I be thinking is common knowledge, but a lot of things if I said it, they would kind of just look at me like I was crazy. Michael Jackson was an incredible light worker, facts. Small talks drives me nuts. I hate small talk so much. I'm so bad at it too. Like, because I have to think a lot about it. Like, I just suck at it. I got a lot better beforehand. Like when I first awakened, I didn't even try to have small talks. Like someone would tell me like how like, oh, they start talking about the weather, and I'll go into like a manifestation talk. So I had to kind of like learn how to reintegrate myself back into society. And I read this book, How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale something. And it was just reteaching me things like I knew when I was unawakened, but I had to kind of relearn it to be able to operate around people. And that book taught me like for like a lot of people that's in the matrix, they don't really care about you. It's like what I'm learning. When you have conversations with people in the matrix, it's like they're talking at you, not with you. So with people in the matrix, I kind of learned to kind of let them just talk about themselves. Because if you try to talk about what you want to talk about, they just kind of disconnect immediately. Or some people, what they'll do is if you try to have a real conversation, they'll deflect with like a joke or something, or they start malfunctioning. And then I'm like, all right, I gotta kind of bring it back and then kind of just go back into like the fake conversation. Appreciate the heart me. Thank you. They glitch, exactly. I'd rather the glitching than the attacking, because some people would think that like, you think you're better than me, and now I'm in like a boss battle with somebody. If they just start deflecting with it, I'd rather that. I'd rather that than them making me like a witch that they gotta like burn at the stake or something. That's how I think people view us, like the Salem witch trials or something like that. Not saying like we're witches, this or that, but more so of like people demonize what they don't understand. Cause like we be like very empathetic individuals, not really wanting problems. But I be trying to think about what we look like to other people. Because yes, some people lie, they'll villainize you, but some people have like brainwashed themselves to really believe that we are the villains. And I be thinking like, damn, like we don't even look like villains, but people will go their furthest to like convince themselves that we are the villains. Yeah, like aliens, pretty much. They fear what they don't understand. Facts. That's why they create the Matrix, because with the Matrix, at least they don't have to worry about them branching out and doing their own thing. When you have people that think like us, they kind of automatically assume the worst. And even then, I kind of don't blame them. Like, I see their point, because out of 10% of us, only 5% of us are using it for like good. Other 5%, they went out there evil. Like, you got spiritual narcissists trying to take over the world and stuff like that. So I understand where they're coming from, but at the same time, like, I don't like taking away people's free will. Like, anytime like I feel like someone's under my control, like it just feels weird. Like, for example, like if you cut off somebody, they're thinking you're playing a game, and then they're giving you the control because now they're like, all right, you have the power. Like, I'm gonna chase you, this and that. That just feels weird to me. Like, because I know at that point, it's not them. You get me? Now they're acting out of some type of insecurity or something. And that's why, like, when I cut off people, I barely let people back into my life. Are you a water sign? No, I'm a Sag. When I was unawakened, people would guess Sag very easily. But when I tapped into spirituality, I got into my emotions, start connecting with the right side of my brain, a lot of people started giving me Pisces. Most people don't change. They don't. A lot of people have that point in their life where they just give up. Which is sad to see, because if people kind of just go through the hard things they're supposed to learn, they can reach that happiness. But once again, I understand, because for us to get to this point, we had to go to hell and back. A lot of people aren't willing to do that, so they stay in their comfort zone. But thank you guys for being here. Like I said, talking to you guys, I get a lot out of it as well. It's cool talking to people that get me, but I'm going to call it. If you guys are on the TikTok side, shoot me a follow. I go live every single night. Try to go live every single night. Subscribe to me on YouTube. This live will be uploaded to it. You guys really showed out with the gifts today. Thank you so much. Like, I wanted to show my appreciation. But yeah, I'm going to be live again tomorrow, where we talk about these honey traps, these succubus, and why dating is treacherous right now. Glad you found me. Glad you found me too. RTS, everyone in here, RTS is return to sender. SR stands for, I was going to say because the stream was ending, but I don't want YouTube to like, get me for something. But SR is just celibacy for guys, but I am out of here. Peace out.